Hey everybody, you are tuning into the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. You're here early. Good job. We're about to get the show started. I have no idea how soon. I'm waiting for my timer to load, but we're gonna get going soon. Prodigal Hegelian and Dadalorian. We have the Philosophy Club here in the show. Thank you for being here over there on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, DLive. Hey, man, everybody's here. Ghostronauts in the house. Okay, cool. Well, here we are. Second day in a row. 2 show days in a row. It's crazy. I know. I don't know how we do it. We're working hard, man. It's time to make the donuts. But remember, go to CanaryCry.Party to find all the resources you need to get connected, stay connected, and reconnected. I don't know what that means, but if you're here, if you're new to the show because you found us, I don't know, through no agenda or something, thanks for being here. Yeah, yesterday's show was wonderful. So we're happy you're here. All right, well, we're going to get the show started. I don't know, you know the thing. Let's do it. Stay hydrated.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. We are live to tape on April 11th, 2022. This is episode number 470. And today, it's the Billy Gates of happiness. And razzle dazzle, I'm your best buddy, Basil.
And my name is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Welcome to the podcast where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And we are back to back days podcasting, which is crazy.
Back to back. Dun, dun, dun.
Are we going to three-peat? Probably not.
No, we are not. I have things I got to do tomorrow, but we're happy. This is a good experiment. This is our second show day in a row. Thank you, everybody who made it out to yesterday's Sunday show, our Palm Sunday show, over there on the No Agenda stream, as well as all of our regular broadcasting locations. And if you are new and listening to this show now, maybe for the very first time because of our appearance over there, welcome. I think you're going to love it. It's going to feel familiar, yet new, all at the same time. And with that, Gonz, I want to give a little bit of a rundown for what people are to expect. Of course, we're checking back in with Ukraine and Russia. We've got a mind control update. Ooh, what could that be? Some beast system goo robots that we've got some more background on the goo robot, the black goo robot. Of course, your FLIPPY update. You'll hear more about that. Bill Gates makes quite the impression in this show. Elon and some Twitter, I don't know, unexpected drama. Surprises. Yeah. Yes, drama. And of course, in the second part of the show, you YouTubers, you're going to need to find another place to watch or listen to the show because we got a bunch of COVID and whack gene stuff we got to talk about, and YouTube doesn't like that. And, last but not least, we got a Chris Shilzilla update and some metaverse news. So stick around, but let's start out with our lead story, Gonzo.
Fight for Ukraine. New world order. Russia.
The tensions continue, Basil, and the drama.
Oh my gosh.
The movie that is Ukraine versus Russia continues to play out. And
Can I start out? You've got a wonderful clip and some stories to go through. It's not easy, Gonz. No. You know this, but just so everybody else out there knows, it is not easy to find any information or articles about the Ukraine-Russia thing that literally isn't just a repeat of Zelenskyy wants more guns. Zelenskyy asks U.S. for guns. Zelenskyy asks the UN for guns. It's just article after article of this guy asking for guns. They can't find anything more interesting.
There was one headline.
Says.
There was one headline I saw that was like, "Oh no, you know, Kiev expecting another Russia attack. They're going to run out of artillery. Like, it'll be the last time they'll be able to defend themselves."
If we were live streaming and just every episode we just start out by asking people for guns, like we would be put on so many lists. I don't know what it is with this guy. We're
probably already on the FBI.
Yeah, we'd be on more lists.
But more lists. So, yeah, a lot going on. Hard to parse out exactly what's happening. Zelenskyy met with the EU last Friday, I believe. Got some footage of that. But there was a sit-down with Al Jazeera that Zelenskyy did. It was published this morning, at least out here in the West. And, you know, it was a 4 or 5 minute thing. I clipped it down to a minute here because the interviewer asks Zelenskyy what an actual solution would look like.
There would be some specific agreements that will make...
This is the translator, by the way. I made the point before, too, Basil. He speaks understandable English. I don't know why he doesn't...
Zelenskyy.
Zelenskyy, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this is an opportunity to kind of bring it up. Putin also knows perfect English, but it's sort of a nationalist type of thing to not speak English, to always use a translator.
Especially in media.
So I imagine with the proximity of Zelenskyy and Putin in Russia and Ukraine that it's kind of a cultural thing. It's like, yeah, we know English, but like we're not going to speak the language of the West for whatever.
Right.
So that it's one thing that Zelenskyy and Putin kind of have in common.
Right. Okay. So this is the interpreter interpreting the answer to the question about what kind of solutions or what a solution would look like.
There would be some specific agreements that will make sure that Russia will clearly not want to violate our sovereignty and territorial integrity, not launch any other invasion against Ukraine. We are ready to be a non-bloc state. We were a non-bloc country, non-aligned country. Other countries would be ready to guarantee our security. There's some rules, and in addition to weapons, in addition to their personal protection, there is also sanctions. So it all means that if there will be an attack against Ukraine by any country, these states, the security guarantors, will be defending us. Why are we talking about Russia as a possible security guarantor? Why? Because Russia should have a legal responsibility, because if they wouldn't be there, they wouldn't be held liable. This is what we want. This is what Russia wants. And frankly speaking, if they wouldn't be dealing with their domestic victories, we would be able to reach an agreement at this point.
Wow,
sorry, I had the bell ready for a spot. I had the bell ready and I got completely distracted here with my daughter coming in. But a couple things. The footage shows the meeting between Zelenskyy and Ursula, the president of the EU. We'll get into that in a minute here. And it also shows Boris Johnson walking around Ukraine with
hilarious
with Zelenskyy. Zelensky's always got this I'm just a guy, just casual guy.
He's got his tight T-shirt on, his tight olive drab T-shirt, kind of usually wearing some heavy military boots and some cargo pants.
Yep.
And then to have Boris Johnson, his wig flying in the air, and
he's pointing at something. Look at this over there. Look at that. What is that?
That's his go-to move every single time. Just like point and mumble, point and mumble.
Look at that. Well, how's
very
that?
effective.
How's that? Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing that was interesting was the Zelenskyy mentioning having Russia being a possible security guarantor, as to make it hey, you should be part of defending us against any other nation that tries to attack us or whatever. So interesting moves.
Which is it's a really interesting aspect of the whole thing, because they're talking about what would it take to have peace or whatever, to negotiate some sort of agreement. And to make the request that, like, okay, you stop killing us or whatever is happening here, and also you protect us. That sounds good to me. Okay, I think we can agree on that. But what would be in it for Putin at that point? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, he can flex his military might, I suppose.
Right. Well, maybe he just wants, like, maybe there's a weird thing. He just wants to be Ukraine's daddy. He's
that's the thing.
I'll take care of you.
The whole Ukraine thing is so weird because they are sort of playing both sides of the whole thing. I mean, obviously, to us in the West, it's all Russia bad. But there's kind of that, like, the door left open of, like, hey, Putin, if you want to be our daddy, then we're down. We're open to that. We're open for business. So the clips coming out of Kiev and what was the other place where the EU, Ursula von der Leyen, and the other fellow here. What's the other guy's name? I forget. Let's see. European Commissioner, Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell in Kiev. So they met in Kiev, and I don't know if you've seen this, Basil. I think you have, actually, because we kind of talked about it beforehand. The whole day is documented. Typical politicians, world leaders meeting, friendly exchange. But there's a whole scene where they go walk around, I guess Kiev, and I guess it's Bucha, and van der Leyen is wearing, they got the vests on. She's got an umbrella for some reason. I don't know if it was raining or not. Just surrounded by soldiers with guns, right?
Yeah. And you got to watch out for snipers.
Yeah. And just the virtue signaling is amazing here. They're walking around, they're looking at stuff, and then a whole, I don't know, display of, tragedy, I guess, Ukrainian tragedy.
The bodies.
The bodies.
You're talking about the
bodies. Yes.
Yeah.
There is a row of dead bodies covered in plastic, or the black plastic bags on the floor.
And there's this moment where she sort of, like, turns and is, like, caught by surprise. Like, oh, goodness gracious. Right. She kind of clutches her pearls or whatever. And it's a beautifully done piece of propaganda.
Oh, the PR is amazing. You got cameramen everywhere.
They didn't stumble upon some bodies accidentally.
I know. Just what a weird. That's such a. I don't know. Is it maybe it's a cultural barrier thing or something where it's like, come, let me show you the dead bodies. Like, what? That is such a bizarre thing. And I mean, what other reason other than some kind of media stunt?
Oh, it's of course just a media stunt. It's PR, and it's setting the stage for whatever she does next. Whatever decision she decides to get the UN involved with is
EU,
is painted on the canvas of I went there, I saw the bodies. Right. And if you didn't know that I did that, you can see it on YouTube. I'll send you a link. The moment when I saw the bodies.
Yes.
Totally on accident. And I was very affected. So now I am making these emotional decisions to go to war or whatever she's going to do. It remains to be seen.
There's a whole, again, scene filmed where she's lighting candles for the soldiers and whatnot, and doing a whole ritual, paying homage or whatever. So it's, anytime politicians do this, you got to know it's part of the propaganda.
The theater is very well executed at this point.
Very much so.
And it's just when they put this much energy into the theater, you know that new things are going to happen. Speaking of Al Jazeera, Gonz, over here on AlJazeera.com, we got a headline, and we've been following the trend towards Afrofuturism, the interest that different world powers are taking specifically in Africa for so many reasons. It's rich in resources, it's underdeveloped, and there's lots of debt to be created. The debt possibilities abound. But here's this article that says the headline is Russia's New World Order is bad news for Africa. Uh-oh. We can't let Russia's New World Order win because then it's racist, and we need good news for Africa. So it goes like this. On March 30th, just a day after a Russian missile hit an administrative building in the port city of Mykolaiv in southern Ukraine, killing at least 12 people. Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, made the case for the establishment of New World Order. And it sounds like what Biden did. Everybody's
declaring it, yeah.
Everybody's got their own New World Order. Interesting. Sometimes in the reporting of New World Order claims, which have become mainstream now, sometimes they capitalize New World Order and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
In this case, because we're talking about Russia's New World Order, it's not a proper noun. This is just a collection of words.
Lowercase New World Order, not the capital. NWO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Biden's NWO. In a videotaped message to his Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi, Lavrov claimed the world is, quote, living through a very serious stage in the history of international relations. He added, quote, we, together with you and our sympathizers, will move towards a multipolar, just, democratic world order. Love it. Russia and China bringing democracy. Bringing democracy around the world. Lavrov's sentiments echoed Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping's February 4th joint statement announcing the beginning of a new era in international relations. In that statement, the two leaders not only called for a new multipolar order, but lamented the West's, quote, unilateral approaches to addressing international issues, claiming such attitudes, quote, incite contradictions, differences, and confrontation, and hamper, quote, the development of progress of mankind. Well, I'd say that's a pretty easy statement to agree with, Gonz. Without a doubt. But
also, let's just call it for what it is. China and Russia, not the bastions of development and progress for mankind either.
Well, that's not quite true. Development, it depends what kind.
Yeah, we're
the Chinese did a great job.
The Skynet advancement?
The Panopticon, Skynet, building entire cities, thousands of skyscrapers with nobody living in them just to demolish them 5 years later. Yeah, China is great at that kind of
progress, baby.
Without a doubt, this is a credible observation, especially regarding the United States' policies across the world. For example, Washington has sanctioned Zimbabwe's government, and rightfully so, for committing gross human rights abuses, but continues to support the equally repressive Ugandan government with military hardware, cash, and training. Last month, the U.S. Senate passed a resolution urging international criminal courts to investigate Putin, his Security Council, and military leaders for possible war crimes in Ukraine. Nevertheless, Washington still refuses to recognize the International Criminal Court, ICC, or cooperate in any way with its investigation into possible war crimes committed by U.S. troops in Afghanistan. The hypocrisy of the U.S. is also apparent in its approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Al Jazeera, we get it. You hate the U.S. We get it.
Oh, I love Al Jazeera for this exact reason. Because everything they say is totally true.
I know.
But if you say it in here in the West, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But if Al Jazeera says it, you're just reporting the facts. Despite Israel's countless well-documented human rights and international law violations, decades-long illegal occupation of Palestinian territories, and apartheid policies against the Palestinian population, the U.S. has blocked 53 United Nations Security Council resolutions critical of Israel in the last 5 decades. And it is not only Russia and China that are disturbed by the West's apparent hypocrisy in the international arena. Africa, too, has grave concerns about the current global order and has long been calling for the UN to undergo substantial reform to address the deep-rooted injustices in its handling of international affairs. In 2005, for instance, the African Union adopted the Ezulwini Consensus, calling for a more representative and democratic UNSC, in which Africa, like all other world regions, is represented. And speaking at the 35th 45th ordinary session of the AU Assembly in February, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed renewed the call for Africa to be granted a larger role in the UN. And it goes on more and more. But you kind of get the point, right?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a resource race, I guess, and staking race for Africa and the extension Antarctica that we've been talking about.
Yeah. And it feels like some in Africa are seeing the writing on the wall that they're sort of the next.
They're next in line to be.
Yeah, target is not the right word. Right.
To the Council of World Order. Yeah.
Well, they know they got the resources. They know they got the people. They know they have the potential more than anything else.
Right.
Including popular support.
Mm-hmm.
With the Afrofuturism. Yeah. Africa is the future. Let me read one more paragraph.
Okay.
And then we can wrap it up. In this context, it may seem understandable for Africa to support the multipolar world order Russia claims to be building with the help of China. However, Beijing and Moscow are not calling for any reform that would diminish the enormous sway they readily have over world affairs. They are also not acting in a way that demonstrates under this new order that they would hold themselves to the same standards as everyone else, or that less powerful states and peoples would have better access to justice. Indeed, as recently as in 2021, China blocked a UN Security Council statement condemning the military coup in Myanmar, and between 2011 and 2019, Russia vetoed no less than 14 UNSC resolutions on Syria. These great powers are evidently selective and casual proponents of democracy and human rights, just like their nemesis, the U.S. Al Jazeera
can't help themselves.
Putting us on par with China and Russia, which, you know what? It may sound brutal, but there are definitely points to be made about that.
Reality about it, yeah.
Yeah. But one last thing. Mm-hmm. But African nations now appear hell-bent on ignoring the hypocrisy demonstrated by Russia and China and eagerly awaiting the emergence of their new world order. So the promises being made by Russia and China seem to be pretty attractive to certain leaders in Africa.
It would be. Yeah. Why not? I mean, they're kind of, especially like China, they're really trying to be cutting edge in a lot of technology and stuff like that. So yeah, of course.
The courting, there's this interesting moment we're seeing where there is a courting of the future. Africa, it's been stated by economic, titans and political, actors and everybody knows as far as economic growth goes, Africa is it's the vacuum waiting to be filled. It's the place with the resources, the people, the everything. And now, more than anything, not just Ukraine, but there's sort of this war fighting for the right to come in, most likely do horrible things and, tear up the continent looking for resources and take advantage of its people using economic, trickery and debt-based blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, they get to choose. Yeah. Who are you going with? You want the Putin? You want the Putin or you want the Biden?
It's funny that Africa's a free agent.
Yeah.
That's what it is, if they've used a sports analogy. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's do this real quick here.
Mind-controlled weapons.
So if you were hanging out in Times Square last night, you were scared. Independent.co.uk videos show mass panic in Times Square over suspected manhole explosion. Here's a report from Fox, which is interesting for those of you guys who have been listening to the show for a while. We uncovered the owner of the Independent. Always just kind of something to keep in mind, who owns or has majority stake in it. Republishing a Fox News report. So interesting. Here we go.
It started as a normal Sunday.
On it, just so you know, it's the son of a Russian oligarch.
KGB, former KGB.
Sorry, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
KGB spreading Fox News.
Spreading Fox News. through the independent.co.uk, known as the Indy.
Love it.
Here we go.
What started as a normal Sunday night in the crossroads of the world turned into mass chaos, and the situation is still developing at
mass chaos.
Mass chaos.
This time, Fox 5's Lisette Nunez is live at the scene with the very latest. Lisette.
Good evening, Arthur. And still a heavy police presence and lots of road closures here in Times Square following this explosion. And some of the people that I spoke with who were here in Times Square say that they were scared, they were frightened, they heard a loud boom, but at first they weren't so sure what it was. I do want to get to some video that was posted on Twitter. There you can still see crowds of people running down the street. Con Ed confirmed that one manhole exploded in the Times Square area. They say this was due to cable failure. They also say a second manhole was smoking. Now, this led to an increased police presence in Times Square, officers closing down parts of 7th Avenue. The FDNY confirmed that they responded to 3 manhole fires, and firefighters did find one property on West 43rd Street that did have elevated carbon monoxide levels. Firefighters did air out the lower levels of that building, and we also got a chance to speak to people who were in Times Square when the chaos unfolded, and here's what they shared with us.
And I thought, what was that? It was a loud, it was too loud, but boom. And then right away, we turn around, and that's when people are just running for wherever.
And luckily, no injuries were reported. Okay. Also, no damage to any property. But once again, still a heavy police presence along 7th Avenue. Still plenty of road closures, and Con Ed still remains on scene.
So,
pretty suspicious, man.
Kind of weird. Don't know what's happening there, but also, like, in terms of what actually was blowing up or going on, I have my Ninja Turtles theory. You know, Donatello, Leonardo getting into a little scuffle. Or no, it was Raphael. He's the one that always caused trouble.
You can never discount the Ninja Turtles theory,
because they'll mess around and things will happen to potholes. So I don't. What explanation? Manhole. Sorry, manhole. The one thing she said was due to cable failure or something, right? That's the only time there was one sentence about what caused or what might have caused this explosion.
Yeah, cable failure. So generic, and nobody knows what's going on down there anyway.
How does a cable failure make a manhole explode and people run? Plus, New York, the notorious sort of literally ground zero of one of the most traumatic mind control events in our lifetime. Mm-hmm. So, anytime there is any type of induced mass chaos, even at this scale, it's always something to keep in mind, especially when it's coming from New York.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember during the pandemic when the AT&T building
was that
Oklahoma
or
something? There was a bomb or something.
Yeah.
And you heard about it for like a day. And then it just disappeared.
People had a lot of, I can't remember all the conspiracy
surrounding it. A lot of theories. It was the hub that controlled the voting machines or whatever.
Right, the voting stuff. That's what was the hot topic. Yeah.
But that's kind of what this reminds me of. Like, it's a great reason to get people out of the area, a great reason to get the police to, to keep it locked down while some sort of underground operation is going on.
Right. And this isn't new. There's a clip here from last year, May of 2021, bouncing manhole cover spotted in Denver. And I like the commentary. You can see it for those of you watching. That's what you're hearing there is the bouncing manhole.
Why is it bouncing?
It needs an exorcism or something.
He stepped on the guy saying, that manhole needs an exorcism or something.
Oh, no, yeah, I heard it. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, weird stuff.
You just have the Donatello theory.
The Donatello, the genetically modified turtles are actually making their way into the city and fighting genetically mutated pigs and
other animals. There was, it just kind of connected for me, and maybe this is just the result of like being in this stuff for so long, but it reminded me of when the what was it? I mean, it was the government. I can't remember which agency it was. Experimented with spreading diseases through the subway and sewers of New York.
Yes, the biological weapons spread or something, right? Yeah, testing out. Yeah. Did they ever give details on that? I remember they said they were going to do it.
It's been a while since I've dived into it. I don't remember what it was, but it's okay. We got more things to talk about. Let's talk about some beast system stuff.
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
This is coming from the South China Morning Post. We got to have our fill of Chinese propaganda. It goes like this. Headline: How the superhero film Venom inspired scientists to create a magnetic robot slime for medical use. That's right. Don't be mistaken, folks. This is not a flippy update, but we did cover the new magnetic goo robot that is, going to save children who eat Legos and can't pass them themselves. The robot that can slither through your veins and save you from whatever. We covered that a few episodes ago, but there's some updates.
Yeah, I have stuff highlighted for this article. Do you mind if I just run through it?
Yeah, why don't you speed through it?
Because we did cover it. Like you said, we did cover it. So just the points that are new for us here. Researchers at the Chinese University of Hong Kong have developed a robotic slime that could help reduce the need for invasive surgery and help with other medical operations. The flexible jelly-like substance was partially inspired by the superhero film Venom and is made up of magnetic particles that can be controlled by external magnets. It can be stretched up to 7 times its original length, form complex shapes, or swallow and transport harmful objects. Okay.
I can do that too.
Zhang Li, a professor at Chinese University who co-created the slime robot, said he expected it could be used as a surgical tool. Quote, "It has extremely large deformation capability. It's like liquid. When you rotate the magnet, it behaves like an octopus arm to grab an object or wrap it up," Zhang said on Friday. The researchers also say it can be used with the help of a robotic arm. Quote, "We can put the magnet on the robotic arm and control the slime robot in the human digestive system by moving the robotic arm," he said. Quote, "The next step will be more challenging because we need to face a more complex environment in the human body, but it is also more meaningful."
Oh.
What does that mean? What do you mean more meaningful? It's a weird way to put that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sun said he was inspired by the film Venom. Quote, when we watched Venom, quote, "When we watched Venom, we felt that capability was what we wanted. To find something with good deformation capability as well as good adaptability to the environment," he said. We start from there to find the material and then turn it into the slime robot." So
he just literally said we watched Venom and we made the robot.
Literally. Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's good deformation capability. Let's do that. Yeah, good adaptability.
The movie about an interdimensional demonic slime that causes the host of which it parasitically connects to become some sort of killing machine.
Superhero monster,
with evil tendencies that, is all wrapped up in his psychotic weaknesses to be controlled. Yeah, that sounds cool, man. Why don't you just make that robot? That's awesome. And there's a connection too, for those who are sort of been following us for a long time. There's, this, but the connection between robots and their possible host capabilities for disembodied spirits or something, this sounds like a great opportunity. You get this robotic black goo, you just do a little ritual, get a demon in there, and then that little demon can slither around inside your body and make it more meaningful.
There's a little bit more detail about how long this symbiotic relationship might last. Quote, "We don't expect to put the slime robot inside of a body for more than 24 hours. We hope that it can be used as a surgical tool and to take it out after the surgery. We hope it could take it out."
Yeah, hope we don't know being a really concerning keyword in that whole thing.
If the technology is promising, we can do some human experimentation in 5 years. So there you go. That's a direct influence from the Venom, just straight out of the scientist's mouth. So, yay.
Yeah, well, did my mute button just work or no?
Yes, it did. If you made a strange noise, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. I did a big cough and then panicked. So where was I going to say? Oh, we were talking about the... Yeah. Well, there you go. Nothing else to say there. But I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into the programming aspect, the social engineering aspect of this. But yes, I agree with the good doctor. I hope that they can get it out.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Well, let's take a second because, Gonz, I don't know if you knew this or not, but it is Monday.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
Whoa. What was that all about?
Switching it up. Yeah, we've got a new contender for the Monday jingle. You got the old one handy, too?
I do.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
That's just
both so good. Yeah, both good. A little bit more energy on the first one, but you gotta love the old one too.
Yeah, the old one's got a little more ease, like easy into the week feel, you know.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, here we are, folks. Thanks for being here. Gonz, do you have any sort of personal updates you want to give anybody right now?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Other than pain, physical pain. Things breaking, you know,
the usual. Yeah, so nothing
stuff.
New.
Yeah, nothing new.
Life is normal. Well, do you remember the trailer to the movie that we played on the show here?
Yes.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
All the time.
All at once.
Yes.
You remember? Yes. Movie, yeah. Yes. And the trailer was amazing because it, it just has so many connections. Not just with like stuff we're interested in, but also seems to baby. Sorry, we have baby attack in the studio. But it also seems to, I don't know, possibly just have been created by some other multiverse version of Basil, specifically to send me messages and get my attention. And I just went ahead and saw the movie. And I will say a few things without giving it away. I'm going to try to not overstate it, but in a lot of ways, if you want to know certain details, certain aspects of your best buddy Basil, this is maybe one of the best ways to do that. It is, as far as a movie goes, as an entertaining movie for a weird person who enjoys, multiverse stuff, kung fu, just all sorts of fun themes like that. You're going to love it. It's a masterpiece of a film, just as far as film goes. It's, if you're not into these things, you probably find it pretty boring. But if you're into these things, it is a masterpiece. It's got some pretty predictable macro themes as far as like the standard storytelling message from Hollywood right now. So you'll need to sort of turn off your social justice trigger sensors because you just will enjoy it more if you do it that way. But as far as the world that was created, excellent film. And I am pretty sure that a Basil from an alternate dimension has sent this film across space and time in order to, I don't know, just mess with me, probably. And so I recommend, if that's something you're into, go ahead and see the film. As usual, adult themes, some bad words, stuff like that. So if you're trying to avoid those things as much as possible, just don't ever go to the movies ever. But if you're okay with tolerating a couple of hours, it's not egregious. But there's some things that I don't want you thinking that I'm endorsing in there. But it's a great movie. Go check it out. I'm going to see it again, actually, because there's so much in there that I need to see and hear again in order to fully decode the message.
Yeah, if I was going to say
sent from myself.
You need a transcript. You need the whole thing.
It's a great film. There you go. Okay, that's all I got. And And other than that, Gonz, I think it's time.
Executive producers.
Oh, I see some people asking in the chat. It's called Everything Everywhere All the Time. And yes, it's time to thank some executive producers of the show. We are on the value for value model, if you didn't know, which means we take zero corporate money whatsoever. In fact, the corporations take our money in order to keep this show going. And no advertisements, no affiliate codes, no YouTube partnerships, no Twitch partnerships, nothing like that. And the reason is because if you're taking corporate money in one form or another, it makes it extremely difficult to stay integrous when the corporations come a-knocking asking you to, change your message. Don't cover things, cover other things, being nudged in one way or another as far as the narrative goes. Remaining brand friendly is sort of the industry term, and we're not interested in being brand friendly, which makes it very difficult to convince corporations to give us money, and we don't want it. Instead, we're on the value for value model, which is we create value, we do it 3 times a week, and if you get any value out of what we do, out of the entertainment, the analysis, the deconstruction, the reports on things you might not be hearing other places, if that brings any value to your life, at this point, we all have the personal responsibility to keep independent media alive, because if we don't do it, nobody will. And independent media has had a target on its back for a few years now, but it's only becoming more intense. And so we invite you. We invite you to become a part of the mission. And you can produce the show in lots of ways with your time, your talent, and your treasure. And those who produce the show with their treasure, we're very grateful for. And Gonz, yes. I understand there's lots of reasons for this. We did do 2 shows in a row, which makes it difficult for not just us, but also our producers to keep up. No executive producers or associate executive producers for today.
Oh, no.
Executive producer.
Wah, 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 wah. As of now, no executive producers, but if nothing else, this is a wonderful call out to anybody who has gotten any value from this show over the years, or maybe just right now. It's that time. It's that time. And here's the thing. Not every listener has to produce every show. That's not what we're asking. And we certainly want to make sure that nobody is putting themselves in, some sort of financial instability to keep the show going. But there are people out there who, perhaps you are not as affected by world events as others are. And there comes a time when it's your turn to help carry the load. So if you're interested in becoming a producer in any capacity, or especially an executive producer, we got room for you. You can be our hero by heading to CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. That's right. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. Go check it out. Become a producer. Join the family. It really is a family. Okay, there you go. I did want to take a second, Gonz. Let's call the producers real quick, if that's something you're available for. Pick up the big red phone. Hold on, let me get the big red phone.
Okay,
Where did I put that thing? Okay, here we go.
Producers, assemble!
That's right. Producers around the world. They are people who produce the show in a very special way, which is they are tasked. They are tasked, and they have picked up the charge and accepted it willingly to be sort of the prayer warriors of the Canarium, and they're very important to what goes on around here. And things are tough in so many ways: inflation, insecurity, instability, Joe Biden, just in general. And when the producers of the show are blessed, that's what. That makes it way easier to bless the show and keep the show going. So I want to put out a mass call for all the producers to pray for all the producers, and that I would really just love, the everybody listening, but the potential producers to just have an easier time. Like, let's get some prosperity going. The Lord can bless the team of producers all around the world, and I want it for them. And when they're blessed, they are more able and willing to bless the show. So I think that that's a win-win situation. What do you think, Gonz?
Sounds great. Yep, I totally agree.
And with that, talking about prosperity, Gonz, we got to check in with our favorite robotic arm.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Indeed, it's time for the Flippy update. If you don't know, Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world, and just how there's nothing we can do about it. I want to thank producer Mayor for sending this to our email box, because I loved it. And I'm going to just cruise right through it, Gonz, and we'll discuss it afterwards. This is coming from patch.com. The headline is, Robot Helpers Join Dining Staff at Pleasanton Senior Living Community. Aw, that's nice. They got pictures here. It looks like a wonderful place. I don't know if anybody's in or around Pleasanton, but this looks like a fancy establishment for you to perhaps live out your years in ease and luxury. And it goes like this. Meet Robbie and Stony.
Okay. Robbie and Stony.
Those are two names of robots. How are they related? I have no idea. Does it seem like they just sort of picked those names out of a hat? Yes. Does it sound like somebody at the facility maybe smokes weed on their break? Absolutely. Meet Robbie and Stony. You can find the robots drifting around the dining room at Stone Ridge Creek Senior Living Community in Pleasanton, assisting the staff with their tasks. Quote, if you would have told me 2 years ago that in a senior community we would have robots and contactless dining, I wouldn't have believed it, Zachary Ziegler said. Yeah, it's almost like you should be listening to this show, Gonz, because pretty sure the first day of the pandemic, we were like, this is what's going to make the robots serve dinner in senior home communities.
This is like the little arrows on the tracks when you play Mario Kart, and you speed up. That's what the pandemic was for robots.
It's the boost. Yeah, that's right. Yet Ziegler, the food and beverage director, found himself deep into nearly a year's worth of research, looking into ways to adapt his dining program to a pandemic-friendly approach. He decided to add the Servy robots, a Tesla-inspired technology, to the dining team, and also added QR codes to the menus. Look, I am very proud of this senior living facility that they have been able to teach Grandma and Grandpa how to accurately and effectively use QR codes, because that is not easy to do. The robots essentially have two modes, food runner and busser. When the chef is done preparing the food, Robbie or Stony come pick it up and take it to a table number the chef punched into the machine. The wait staff serves the food, then the robots take the dirty dishes back to the kitchen to be washed. Quote, they help the waiters save so much time by doing the running around and things they don't like to do, Ziegler said. Yeah, bussing tables.
Yeah.
Help moving food one place to another. I guarantee you, Mr. Ziegler, that those waitstaff have plenty of things that they don't like more than just moving food from one place to another. Helping with the grunt work, the robots allow for the limited waitstaff to be able to excel in what they like doing. Hospitality, giving them an additional hand in a sense. The staff has more time to communicate with the residents. Quote, they're definitely not meant to replace anybody. Wink. We need our servers. They're an integral part of what we do, and their interactions are so important, Ziegler said. For now, he mumbled under his breath with a sinister grin. Residents in senior living facilities are used to their routines changing Residents in senior living facilities are used to their routines. Changing them comes with caution. Luckily, at Stone Ridge Creek, the residents are more than ready to adjust. Quote, initially, they were nervous. It's a big change, but once they saw it in place and saw how effective it was, that wow factor disappeared, Ziegler said. Gloria Lawton, a resident at Stone Ridge Creek, said the community actually embraced the new staff members. The residents have decided to give them names, and it stuck. Okay, so it's these...
Well, they're given by the residents.
The residents named them Robbie and Stoney. You little rascals. Quote, we hardly expected to see something like this, but everybody has been receptive. The robots came to the facility and don't care. These days, Robbie and Stoney aren't the talks of the community anymore. They're just in the background doing their job. Quote, now we hardly see them. They're there. They're very functional. It's not a curiosity anymore, Lawton said. Instead, Lawton shifts the attention to Ziegler, expressing the community's appreciation for his commitment to their safety and happiness. Quote, I'm very proud of Zachary because he is on top of things, and during COVID, he's done such a fantastic job of keeping us all fed safely. He's the absolute best.
No, the quote is, he's absolutely the best.
Okay.
Let's be accurate about
the
greatness of another Z-man, Zachary Ziegler.
Ziegler's son? Zelenskyy, Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's the World War Z, man.
The best. Right. So, we talk a lot about the social engineering aspects, the integration of robots into everyday life, and what a wonderful example of how it can be done. You've got a senior living facility, which this looks like a nice one, but more or less, these are people who are stuck in here. They're in a people zoo.
Yeah.
Okay. This is their life now. And their people zoo is now being staffed by robots. And of course, it sounds like they all had a little bit of a problem with that. But now they're there and they're very functional. It's not a curiosity anymore. They're just in the background doing their job. Complete successful normalization.
Yep.
And in this case, best case scenario, letting more human interaction happen. At least that's the utopia that we've been promised, is that these robots will make human-to-human connection easier and better and more fruitful. And I just wonder what the amount of time they are planning to let this happen. It takes one budget crunch in the dining room.
This is the robot Armageddon that can happen at this community center. It can be literally the end of their way of life, if they get used to it.
Yeah, they're used to it. They love those robots. They named the robots. Never name the robots, folks. That's how they get you. You don't name the robots. But, all it takes is budget crunch after budget crunch to replace one human with one robot that will be hardly noticed and even appreciated. And then, boom, there goes that essential human interaction that these seniors, is so important to a senior life. The loneliness and the contact, the lack of contact is really a problem in the sort of senior part of life. And they're going to have to get HuggyBot in there soon.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that we don't have time to really get into the Japanese robot that can peel bananas cleanly most of the time.
We can do it really quick. This is from Reuters.
Yeah.
Reuters, Japanese robot can peel bananas cleanly most of the time. Robots in Japan are found on blah, blah, blah. We got a robot that peels bananas. And while the dual-armed machine, double flippy, is only successful 57% of the time.
Now, I'm looking at the photo, and let me just briefly break this down because we're already over time. Did you know you can, you probably know this, you can open a banana much easier from the bottom side, not the stem. Yeah.
You copy the monkeys. The monkeys know how to do it.
Yeah,
they do it from the bottom.
Why is this robot trying to, maybe the 57% success rate is when they open the banana from the bottom
from the
side.
other end.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that funny? Yeah, it's this weird progression. You have them like apes and monkeys. They can open a banana from the bottom, and it's the easiest, best way to do it.
Yeah.
And then humans come along, and for some reason, humans see a handle, and we just want to use the handle. It doesn't matter if the handle is effective or not. You put a handle on something, a human is going to focus on the handle.
Yeah.
And that little handle at the top of the banana is the worst place to open the banana. And of course, in classic fashion, when we make a robot to peel a banana, we are still obsessed with that handle.
I'm a hand. Must grab handle.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a bad robot that opens bananas just about half the time.
Yeah, this whole thing is bananas.
Nice.
Go to CanaryCry.Party if you want real bananas. Find the live stream, find the clips, email list, text notifications, street team posters, show notes, ways to connect with other Canarians, and how to become a producer.
Welcome to CanaryCry.Party. It's the place you wanna be. So say, welcome to CanaryCry. Gameplay, CanaryCry.Party.
That's right. Check out how fast I am, Gonz. Everybody go listen to Ravel. It's another podcast I do with Daddy Dr. Christopher Ryan Gates. We explore scripture, scandal, and society, not in that order. It's a great show. You're going to love it. We've got awesome guests, and we're late on the episode again. We got a new baby. There's a baby, okay? It's hard to do. But go check it out. Ravel, Ravel, on any podcast player. There's 2 Ravel podcasts. Mine is the good one. It's got my name on it, and it's good. Next, go to CanaryCry.Clips. The CanaryCry.Clips channel is there for you. It's on YouTube. It's on Odyssey. It's chock-a-block full of small clips of the show, little bite-sized, shareable parts of the show. So you can review the show. You can get some essential information that maybe you want to share with somebody. It's a great thing. Go follow CanaryCry.Clips. YouTube, Odyssey, go. And also sign up for our text alerts. You get a text message sent directly to your phone when we are about to go live. It's very cool. You're never going to miss a show again. It's awesome because, we're sort of like semi-shadow banned and notifications don't go out when we do stuff. So this is a great way to have a personal connection, a personal line straight to your best buddy Basil. I send out all the texts, and you can brag about how your favorite podcaster texts you 3 times a week. Text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. That's Canary to 877-740-3226. Boom.
We're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein, right into the vein,
right into the vein, right into the vein.
Listen to that happy little lizard man.
Happy man. Well, he's not loved by many. This is Storyful real quick. Hundreds protest Bill Gates' vaccine advocacy ahead of TED speech in Vancouver. This is a TED Talk. I don't know why they said TED speech. More recognizable if they say TED Talk. But hundreds of demonstrators gathered in Jackpool Plaza in Vancouver, Canada on Sunday, April 10th to protest against Bill Gates and his support for vaccination as Gates was set to speak at the TED conference in the city. And there's some footage of people screaming, arrest Bill Gates. Truckers, there you are.
How many people do you think there are?
The report says hundreds, but it could be in the thousands, and they're trying to.
That's quite the scene. That is quite the scene. Did any pies fly? Do you see anybody holding pies?
Someone should bring back the pie and just.
It's about time.
They need to have the same
more pieing of Bill Gates.
They need to catch Bill with the same video angle, and then the same pie to the face, and then we can have the comparison.
Honestly, he spends millions of dollars on his PR team every single year. And this is a result of that, this TED Talk, as part of his PR comeback or whatever. If he needs to get some Gen Zs on there and stage another pie to the face situation.
Yeah.
Bill, hit me up.
Well, as much as people hate Bill Gates, he's happy apparently. He's a very, very happy man.
Well, it's certainly profitable for him to have us think that. Tell us more.
GQindia.com. GQindia.com. According to Bill Gates, you only need to do these.
Couldn't quite get on the U.S. Couldn't quite get on the U.S. GQ. Huh?
Yeah, they knew what would have followed with the U.S. crowd. But according to Bill Gates, you only need to do these 4 things to be happy. That's it.
Let me guess. Can I take a guess before we read them?
Yeah, let's
All right, I'm going to guess the 4 things.
Okay.
Have $100 billion. That helps.
Okay, yeah, it helps. I'm not saying that creates happiness, but go ahead.
I don't know. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this is what Bill Gates would say.
Yes, I know.
So have $100 billion, become completely unaccountable for crimes that you've committed over decades.
Very good.
Yeah,
yes,
that's a good one.
Yeah, well, if you have enough money, you can buy out. You can buy out whatever. So maybe those 2 are tied together. But sure.
Well, they all sort of are.
Yeah.
In Bill Gates' world. Let me see. What else? Oh, I don't know. Have like a half a dozen mistresses over the past 10 years. That seems like something brings him happiness, apparently. And Gonz, friendship is so important to happiness.
Yes.
So, have really good, rich friends who also have mistresses. I like that. And it helps when your good, rich friends have, private islands and private jets. And, you can go on little vacations with your good friends.
Right.
It's
good to unwind sometime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Right.
According to Bill Gates,
said.
The founder of Microsoft, a philanthropist and authority on technology, Bill Gates loves to share his wisdom with mere mortals. That's us, in parentheses. Okay.
Wow.
On Twitter and in Reddit Q&A sessions. Thanks to Bill Gates, we can enjoy his summer reading list, entrepreneurial tips, and movie recommendations. And now we also have his secrets to happiness.
Oh,
what is happiness? One internet definition describes it as a state of being fully satisfied, enjoying what is pleasing.
Wait. Did it really say one internet definition?
Yes, it does. It says one internet definition.
Good. Okay, just had to check.
Yeah, the internet definition describes it as a state of being fully satisfied, enjoying what is pleasing to the senses or morally good. Wikipedia's attempt to define the term includes this. Quote, the current experience of the feeling of an emotion, affect, such as pleasure or joy, or of a more general sense of emotional condition as a whole.
I think an intern wrote this article.
Okay, whatever. Okay, we've not enough setup. Let's get to the list. What are the 4 things, Bill Gates? Here's what the 80-year-old told us. Number 1, how to be happy according to Bill Gates. Keep your commitments.
Oh.
Okay. Kind of like if you say you're going to meet someone on a plane somewhere.
Yeah. Don't blow off your rich friends who planned a fun island vacation for both of you.
Yeah, by this, Gates means to do things with intention, set your mind to something and stick to it. Right. Do what you promise.
I wonder if he's considered his marriage in this.
Well,
keep your commitments.
I think this is what, committed to what you want. So if you want to do something, then go do it. Don't dwell on what if, especially if you feel you are in the wrong place.
Oh, really? That's what it says. That's in the article.
You must ask yourself the question, am I doing what I want to do? What matters most?
Right. So he's on that do what thou wilt. Shall be the whole of the law.
Crowleyan philosophy. Okay, very good.
Yes,
keep your commitments.
A Luciferian occult definition of happiness. Do whatever you want.
Okay, let's move on. Number 2, think about giving back. Not actually give back, just think about it, According to Gates,
it does feel good to just think about it sometimes. Maybe sometimes that's enough.
That is enough. You don't really need it's the thought that counts, right?
Because actually giving back is such a hassle.
Yeah, a lot of bureaucracy.
Who's got the time? So yes, imagine yourself being a good person is basically what he said.
According to Gates, when you give to others, you always get back a little more than you give. Being generous to others gives you a sense of satisfaction and generous to others gives you a sense, not an actual thing, but a sense of satisfaction and well-being. And there can be no happiness without that. Moreover, research has confirmed that being generous makes us feel happy and is good for our mental and physical health. Okay.
There's something, I know what he's saying, and like if anybody else was saying this, it would be nice. But the fact that he's the one saying this there's such a sinister, sort of diabolical twist to it that I am not appreciating.
Here's some money. Look, I'm human. See, I have feelings.
Now satisfy me.
Right. Number 3, treat your body as a temple.
Oh, treat your body a temple to which god, Bill Gates? Who exactly is being worshipped in this temple of yours?
Oh, this is what it says. This does not mean that you should eliminate all your vices, but take care of yourself.
Of course
your
not.
Health and your physical condition. Exercise is great.
Do what thou wilt.
Yeah, feeling good is essential to being satisfied with your life and being happy. So treat your body with respect and have activities that help it to be in the best condition. Ooh.
Ah, jeez, it's so much grosser when it's coming from him. I don't like it.
Even short sessions can make a big difference. All right, let's move on. Moving on.
It does not say that.
It does not say that. I have the sentence highlighted.
This man is sick.
Even short sessions can make a big difference. Okay. Last but not least.
What? I can't believe he said that. I can't believe they wrote that.
Set aside time. Let's move on. Set aside time for family and friends. No amount of work success can replace your family and human connections. They should be a priority, and you should set aside time for them. Make sure your personal relationships are healthy and good for you. Yeah, make sure your personal relationships are healthy and good for you. Is that a hint at like, my relationship with Melinda was not healthy for me.
Yeah, it was bad for me.
Yeah.
But my relationship with my mistresses, my relationship with Epstein, those
were good.
Those really
they brought happiness to me. So there you go. Follow these 4 steps and you too will be happy like Bill Gates.
Oh, wow. That was a blast, Gonz. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. That's maybe not the most important news story of the day, but I really needed that.
It's pertinent because, you know, especially if, they're really, Bill Gates' popularity is probably waning in the U.S., but it's probably still pretty high in other countries like India,
Maybe.
And if they're going to continue the infiltration here.
India, he actually has a lot of critics in India.
Really?
Because he's pulled
the vaccine.
He's pulled his sketchy vaccine stuff over there. Illegal, by the way, and sadistic vaccine experiments on unsuspecting villagers who have no power whatsoever to do anything about it. And he has a lot of criticizers, very popular ones. And this is just his PR team, just trying to build back his reputation better.
They even have this creepy photo of him in the article where he's kind of like in the shadow.
Bill better. Sorry,
build Bill back better. Yeah. Let's move on to some Elon. Oh,
yes.
Whoa. Come back here.
Whoa.
Here we go.
You are already sort of a cybernetic symbiote. Neural nets are taking over from regular programming. So you are connected.
You are connected. This is coming from the Washington Post. The headline, in major reversal, Elon Musk won't join Twitter board after all.
Oh, the emotional roller coaster that is Elon. I can't keep up.
I didn't even know that this was an option, so it was nice to learn after it was too late. Elon Musk is not joining Twitter's board after all, a reversal following last week's revelation that he had become Twitter's largest shareholder and had received a subsequent appointment to the panel. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal tweeted the news Sunday night, including a memo sent to his staff. Quote, Elon's appointment to the board was to become officially effective on April 9th, but Elon shared that same morning he will no longer be joining the board, Agrawal wrote. I believe this is for the best. Cool.
Thanks, Elon.
It's not even the I believe this is for the best was from the CEO. Yeah, I bet you do think this is for the best because Elon was just going to cause trouble for you and your bad platform. The surprise move came less than a week after Twitter had said the outspoken Tesla CEO would become a board member after he amassed a more than 9% stake in the social media company. But Twitter employees and others were agitated over the move, worrying Musk might wield outsized power to undo some moderation decisions that were made, including banning former President Donald Trump. Agrawal said the company will remain open to Musk's input, but he added, quote, the decisions we make and how we execute is in our hands, no one else's. And he urged staff to tune out distractions. Yes, spoken like a true cult leader. Twitter said it would not comment Monday beyond Agrawal's statement. Musk did not respond to a request for comment. He tweeted an emoji of a face with its hand over its mouth shortly after the news broke. That tweet appeared to have been deleted Monday, along with several others related to Twitter that followed his investment. Musk also liked a tweet reply to Twitter CEO that opined on how Musk's departure unfolded. Departure, okay, theorizing that Musk was told, quote, to play nice and not speak freely, despite his push for what he regarded as free speech. A financial filing by Musk on Monday reflected that he would not be joining the board and included language saying he would be free to, quote, express his views on social media about Twitter's business, products, and services to the board and management. The new filing said Musk held a 9.1% stake in Twitter, which is enormous. Sunday's announcement capped off an extraordinary and rapid series of events that began weeks ago when Agrawal said he first engaged with Musk in talks to join Twitter's board. Agrawal last week welcomed Musk, who he called a passionate believer in intense critic to Twitter, rather than fight off an infiltration from an outside activist. Musk had only months earlier tweeted a meme superimposing the Twitter CEO's face over that of a Soviet dictator, Joseph Stalin. Yeah, you gotta squash some beef after some moves like that.
That would be like, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to necessarily make any analogies, but I don't know. What do you think about this whole thing with Elon and Twitter? We did sort of quasi report it. We didn't really dig too deep into it, but
it broke at the end of one of our episodes. Well, there's. Let me read this part. Mush initially filed to become a passive investor in Twitter, documents revealed, but the next day paperwork was filed that would alter his status to become a board member. So that kind of answered our questions as far as like,
right. What kind of...
It seemed like he was going to be more of a passive guy. I mean, there's a difference when you buy that much of a company. You're not like suddenly the boss all of a sudden. It's all in the paperwork, baby. But I have a hard time believing that he's just disengaging. I think, obviously, he's a danger to the status quo of Twitter. I'm not saying he's some sort of hero of free speech or anything, but he's a rascal. He's a known rascal who's not afraid to get attention. Now, overall, is he like fighting for freedom all the time? No, he does it when it is good for his brand. I mean, his dealings with China, the least free speech, place in the world,
yes,
has been well documented, and is its own critique of his sort of persona. I think some sort of deal happened. I think somebody came to an agreement, and I think he wanted something that maybe we don't know about, and the threat was, I will join the board if you don't give me what I want. There also may have been paperwork of like, hey, you're on the board. You can't say anything bad about Twitter anymore. Like some sort of agreement in the paperwork. Mm-hmm. And he might be like, well, I want to do that. I don't know.
So, yeah. I don't know. It seems like in the long term, Elon wants. He's kind of like Trump. You know how Trump played the freedom card or like the restoration of America. He's riding that same wave of like American freedom and national, not exactly like super nationalism per se, but just this idea of a more sovereign type of situation. But you're right. His ties to China and everything else are very interesting. I just want to drop this because I don't know where else to really mention it. There's a project out there called Xi Protocol, XI, like Xi Jinping.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a protocol that it's like a Web3 thing. You can purchase the tokens and stake it and whatever. It's a crypto project. But here's the deal. They have a partnership with a thing called the Geometric Energy Corporation, GEM. And they are basically going to have a partnership with Doge 1, the mission to the moon. So you know how SpaceX is launching the Doge mission or whatever later this year?
Yeah.
So through this Xi protocol, you can actually have a display on the rocket ship of whatever, like your NFT or your advertise, whatever it is, can be on.
He was doing the advertisements in space.
Right. Yeah, that whole deal. And it's called Xi protocol. Why is it Xi protocol? Like Xi Jinping? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's Xi is also in the Greek alphabet, but it's more fun to talk about China.
Yeah, well, it is actually a Greek company that's doing the whole thing, but
actually in Greece, it's a Grecian company.
Yeah, I think some Greek-Grecan people. Yeah, but they do have a deal with SpaceX. They are part of if you invest in this thing and do all the stuff that the technical things you can have. Like we can have our Canary Cry logo or like one of our producers' art or something on display on the spaceship, and then somebody can see it and go to CanaryCry.Party.
The aliens. So the aliens can do it. This article ends with this very interesting detail.
Yeah.
Musk's board appointment limited his stake in the company at 14.9%, meaning if he was on the board, he cannot own more than 14.9% of the company.
Ooh.
Now that he will not have a board seat,
he's trying to take it all over.
He is free to continue to invest beyond that figure. Those limits are put in place to make sure that board members don't have more power than one another. That is sort of as equal of a board situation as you can, or at least you limit, how powerful any one board member can get. But without that, I mean, he could just keep buying it. Like I purchase the whole thing eventually.
I think he wants to take over Twitter, literally, and to connect it to the whole SpaceX infrastructure, and have it be the social media platform of the future of his future energy infrastructure.
Yeah,
because
he's so involved. I mean, I would never claim to have any good guess as to what he's thinking, because he's probably actually just some sort of robot that is controlled by an off-world hive mind that has more cognitive power than we could imagine. But it does. I mean, it's obviously a play. You don't know what the play is really, but it's a play. And the fact that he's the spaceman, he's the electric vehicle man, he's the tunnel guy, he's the flamethrower guy.
Man. He's the Antichrist.
He's getting everything, and communication is a very powerful industry for him to have some control over. And with that, I would like to let you know, Gonz, that Elon will never have a seat on the board of Canary Cry News Talk. I'm willing to die on that hill because we don't need his money, man. We don't need his money. That's why we have producers, and we're going to thank them now.
We don't need his money, as tears come out of your eyes.
I say yes with a quivering voice. And
I don't want your dirty
glimmer of
cash.
doubt in my eye. He can produce the show if he wants, but he can't sit on the board. And so let's thank some of our producers now.
It's break time! Come on, take a break.
That's right. We're going to take a quick break, folks, but don't go anywhere after the break. We're diving right into some COVID news you're not going to want to miss. And remember, YouTube viewers, we're going to kick you out. So go find another place to watch the show, because Susan doesn't want to hear what we have to say about COVID. But before that, we are going to thank some producers. That's right, I said producers, because we are on the value for value model. No advertisements, no affiliate codes, no partnerships, no nothing, no Elon. We are completely independent. It's called the value for value model. We don't want to participate in the sort of dark, shadowy, all-consuming, never fulfilled, gaping maw that is advertising and the corporate lizard economic system of this world. Instead, we are entirely funded by producers. Who are they? They're you. They're people who get value from what we do. And when they get value, we encourage them. We invite them to realize more than anything that it is all of our responsibility, our personal responsibility, that if there is independent media that we find value to, that makes our lives better, that we, consume throughout the week, brings us sanity, brings us laughter, doesn't try to craft a worldview that benefits the most powerful beings on the planet at the expense of the rest of us. No, none of that. We're in this together. It's the Canary Cry family. And if you get any value, you're invited to become a producer. You can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/CCNT, or even better, CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. Yeah, and I haven't really mentioned it recently, but over there at CanaryCry.Radio.com/support, you can support the show with your cryptocurrency. You can come in as a monthly producer, like nice set it and forget it. If you consistently get value from the show and you want to consistently help in keeping the show going, you can join up with a monthly thing. And that is actually extraordinarily important, especially in these days where day-to-day producership is not always guaranteed. It's our monthly producers who have really carried the load recently, and we appreciate that very much. But if commitment is not your thing, you can make a one-time producership in any amount. And Gonz, I have some good news for you, my friend.
Ooh, you do?
Yes. And this is the thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When producers produce the show, I'm not just grateful because it's, the way that we survive and that we're able to continue doing what we do, but I'm also very proud. I mean, it's a revolutionary act to support a show like this in the context of getting value and giving value. It goes against everything we've ever been taught about, economics, which is take as much as you possibly can and don't give a penny or an inch unless you are absolutely forced to. And in this case, we had 0 executive producers at the top of the show. And when people know that's why we're so transparent. We're as transparent as we possibly can be, because when that a heroic producer hears that, they come in and save the day. And we had 2 executive producers come in and save the day, Gonz. Are you ready to thank them?
Yeah.
Executive producers.
That's right. Executive producers coming in, making it work. Can't do it without them. And our first executive producer that came in was, let me check. Well, the name on the thing is William S. Thank you very much, William S.
William Shakespeare, the first man to be jobbed, has now arrived.
Rocket Man.
Canary Cry News Talk executive producership. Thank you.
Parallel universe.
Yes, thank you, William S.
Where'd you find this?
That's right. William S. comes in with a nice, flat, round number, which means we're not going to read it. We always bend towards anonymity, and when you give us a nice, flat, round number, that signals to us that you do not care for us to share the amount. And so thank you very much, William S. We had another one come in, Gonz, and it's very important. Yes, I know. This day, everything's changed. And that executive producer is executive producer Hannah G.
Thank you, Hannah G.
Whee! Thank you very much, Hannah G. And Hannah G comes in the amount of $205.34.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know what that number means, but it means something.
205.34?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 2.28 divided of our episode number. That's exactly what she meant.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
Yeah, just multiply her amount by 2.28888672444, and it's the episode number. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense now that I hear it out loud. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hannah G.
Thank you, Hannah
again,
G.
being one of our heroes.
Where'd you find this?
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's just go straight to the other producers here.
Oh, okay. Yep. Let's do it.
Here we go. We're going to start out with, actually, this one came in during last show.
Okay.
So I'm going to read it first. It was after the break, so we didn't get to read it. But this is producer Jonathan F.
Thank you, Jonathan F. Appreciate that.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Jonathan F. Coming in for 33.33 in fees. Yes.
Coming in producing multiple ways.
In multiple
Jonathan
ways. He's
F.
a very involved fella. And on top of that,
he's like
Jonathan
Bo Jackson.
He will be helping us out with some other stuff. I mean, he is a full-scale producer. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Do you know who Bo Jackson is?
No.
Okay.
Sportsman?
Yeah, he's a sportsman. He played multiple sports. That was the analogy. He's a baseball player. He played
like
football.
Michael Jordan.
Sure, but that was more of a less so with Michael Jordan. But sure, yeah. Okay.
That was a joke about how little I know about sports.
Yes.
Because I learned that from Space Jam.
Okay.
So, next up, we have Sir JC, Night of the Techno Squatch on a 90-episode streak.
Woo!
1001. Amen.
That's right. He comes in with the 1001 and a note. Hope you guys are doing well. Gary, what day doth it be?
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
Slowly but surely sneaking up on streak 100.
Right.
You're doing it.
Go.
Steady pace, Sir JC. You're doing it. Next up, we've got Jackie U. Jackie U, we are continuing your streak. We are not counting Sunday's show against anybody's streak if they missed it. So, Jackie U, you're still on the train, 46 episodes in a row.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule.
That's right. She comes in with 1545 and a note. Hi, fellas. My streak's gone. No, it's not. More money is having to go to gas now. I know. Friday, Mom with a Sword and Shield and I had a 5-hour mini meetup. First IRL meeting. Together, we also had a Zoom call with a couple other Canarians. What amazing people, all caps. Jackie U. Thank you very much, Jackie U.
Yeah,
and what a wonderful thing. Yeah, we got a picture of it. Okay, good. Is that Mom with Sword and Shield, I'm assuming?
I think so,
and
yeah.
Jackie U.
Yeah.
Wonderful. My gosh. See, folks, the meetups, they can happen at any moment. And it's very important, as we learned from Bill Gates, to make time for friends.
Take Bill's advice.
Thank you, Jackie U. Next up, we've got James M.
James M.
Comes in with 1111 plus fees.
11.
And he sends a note here. D-Mooch. Says you guys are great. Yes, thank you. You're great too, James. Thank you for coming in, supporting the show, getting a D-Moochin'. We appreciate it very much. We have a Patreon supporter who came in, and that's Anison A.
Thank you, Anison A.
Yeah, Anison A signed up for the 511 level to support on a monthly basis. Thank you, Anison.
Thank you very much.
I did not see it. Next up, you know it, you love it. It's our kitty producer, Puddin22, is in the house. 11 on 11 plus fees.
11.
It's Monday, Gary.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
What a real cat treat to listen to your show 2 days in a row. I'm shedding like crazy just thinking about it. Seriously, though, appreciate your dedication and loyalty to your peeps. Meow, meow, meow. Blessings, Puddin22. Meow, meow, meow to you. Thank you very much, Puddin22.
Thank you, Puddin22.
Back on the list here.
I wonder if we're the first cross-species supported podcast with Puddin22,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It used to be illegal, you know.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Cloud Serial comes in with 1133.
Ooh.
Illuminatus!
Says here, prayers to you fellows. I've been enjoying the voice messages from the Canarians with their lovely voices, as well as the celebrities with their rants and tirades. I'm entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Glad you are entertained. I am also entertained. And yes, we will see if we have any voice messages later on in the show.
Thank you very much, Cloud
Serial. Next up, we got Sir Scott Knight of Truth on a 131 episode streak.
Quicker!
Oh, yeah!
Thank you so much.
And a simple note, hey, Gary, it's Monday.
Gary, what day is it? Monday. Monday. Monday.
That's right. And Sir Scott came in with the pocket full of sevens. Thank you, Sir Scott.
You, Sir Scott.
Boopy boop. Next up, we got Morph. On a 75 episode streak. That's right. 1111. Thank you, Morph. Next up, we've got producer Anonymous as one of our crypto producers.
Ah, yes. I don't even know if I still have that crypto jingle because it's been so long since we've had a crypto.
Sure, you can figure it out.
Yeah, no,
we should have played it because actually Runk Smash a while back came in with some crypto.
Yeah,
not a while back. I mean, like yesterday.
What? Did he come in yesterday with?
Yeah, he came in with some Doge recently.
Oh, I thought that was today.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. Time is a flat circle.
Yeah, I meant to look for the jingle too because I was like, I don't see it on my little board here.
Well, if I could stall, if you want a second to find it.
Yeah, talk for
All right,
30 seconds.
Producer Anonymous came in with 23,172 Satoshis. For those who don't know, Satoshis is the smallest unit of Bitcoin possibly measured. And that comes in at a whopping $9 in Bitcoin, which we're very grateful for.
Here we go.
Because let's show them how we feel, Gonz.
Is this a crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
That's right. And can we do a quick little refresh? Because I think that concludes our list of financial producers who have supported the show in the amount of $7.77 or more, which is incorrect. We have one more, Gonz.
Yes.
We've got producer bot LX Protocol V2.
Ah, yes. Must be on a streak.
Yes, he's on an 18 episode streak.
Which means he is
on Supernova?
Supernova.
This is Charlie November Tango. You are approaching Supernova. Repeat, you are approaching Supernova.
You've done it, LX Protocol V2. Thank you very much for going Supernova. Okay, that concludes our list of producers who have come in above 777. But we got some more to thank, and we'll just breeze on through. Thank them right now, starting with Sir Casey the Shield Knight on a 100. Wait a second. Something has gone wrong.
Uh-oh.
Because Sir Scott and Sir Casey are exactly
10 apart.
10 apart.
So
so I'm just checking to make sure who is right, who is... Oh, yeah, I have no idea why that got off. But yeah, Sir Casey the Shield Knight is on a 141 episode streak.
Yes, they call him the street. Fastest thing on 2 feet.
He is the streak.
What is he is the streak? What is the next level of jingle? We need to put out the request early because we can't have another 133 debacle.
Yeah, it's going to have to be.
It seems like 142 is something.
Yeah, that's next episode, though, for Sir Casey.
Yeah, well, the jinglers
we can do
would have to get on
177
it.
because we minted 177 NFTs.
Well, we will do that, but that's too far away. We can't do that one. That's like a year's worth of shows. Let's do, 3 months worth. Let's do 142. Or we could do 144, like the
144,000. Yeah, that's not
all right,
bad.
that's
okay,
it. Jingle makers, the next streak level, we need a jingle in the next 3 episodes for 144 streak level.
Yes.
There's some inspiration there.
144, just 100,000 times divided of 144,000.
Yeah. Wow. Your math is on point today. Next up, we've got the Streak Sisters, and we're going to start out with Veronica D on a 106 episode streak.
Yeah!
No, I lied. 107.
Yeah! Women roll! Yeah! Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Veronica D. I am realizing Veronica D came in.
Did we miss her? No, you know what it is? She came in. No, she came in last episode. We didn't write it on the document.
Right.
I had to add it in thame yeah, it might not be in the old thing.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a whoopsie daisies. Yes, here it is, because Veronica D came in again with a larger amount that has a note on it.
Oh.
Hold on. Sorry, we're going deep into the admin stuff. We just got to do it because she's the streaker. She's one of the Streak Sisters. We got to do everything. Oh, there it is. Okay. Nope, that wasn't it. Oh no.
Oh no.
Hold on. Here it is. Okay. Good job, Veronica D, for sending us a note and also telling us not to read this note. Okay, you're good. Your streak is maintained, Veronica D. All right, next up, we've got the other Streak sister, and that's Gail M.
Thank you, Gail M.
107 episodes in a row for Gail M.
Women roll!
Okay, and I'm going to take this opportunity real quick to remind everybody about Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag. And for those who don't know, maybe you're new to the show, Gail has been supporting the show for a long time. We've been through some hard life events with Gail, and during that time, I'm looking for something she had written out. The Canary Cry family was there to help her, pray for her, be there for her, give her comfort and friendship. But also, we completely blasted a GoFundMe out of the water for Gail because of when her brother passed and she was being sort of not treated very well by the VA, and life was just very difficult. And the Canary Cry family came together, and it was a beautiful moment in Canary Cry history. And in response, Gail started the Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag, which she is busy little bee, going around to, things like flea markets, thrift stores, stuff like that, finding awesome, unique, cool canary-themed objects. And once a week, 1 or 2 people are chosen to be the recipients of the Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag. And, there's plenty of ways that this could come about. But when you hear your name and you're called out and things happen and you're the recipient, you need to contact Gail to receive your delivery. And you can get that, get connected with her by emailing CanaryPeeps, P-E-E, PS, CanaryPeeps at yahoo.com, and make sure to let her know who you are, and she'll be asking for your address and stuff, and she'll send you cool stuff. And it's all, gets a little bit of customization, and it's just a wonderful little token of gratitude for being a part of the community in general. And yes, there are some people who have not yet claimed their prizes. I will be sending you an email. But we do have a winner for last week, Gonz, and that winner is producer Ciara.
Awesome.
That's right.
Congratulations, Ciara.
So Ciara, go email CanaryPeeps at yahoo.com and get in touch with Gail. There you go, Gail. I hope I hit all the correct points there. But we're very grateful for your support and your being part of the family. It's a lovely, lovely thing.
Thank you very much, Gail.
Okay, next up, next up, we've got producer Runk Smash, who is one of our crypto producers for the day.
Yeah.
Is this a crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
Mm-hmm. And he's on a streak. And I think it's a 20-episode streak. Yeah, thank you very much, Runk Smash.
All right, good job, Runk Smash.
And there you go. Okay, last but not least, we've got producer Sir James, Knight and Servant of the Lion of Judah, on a 75-episode streak.
Thank you very much.
That is correct. And that is it. Thank you to everyone who has supported the show financially today. It's got a little spooky there for a second, but we all came through. We're going to be safe. We appreciate it very much. It is your show, and as long as the producers keep producing, the show will stick around. And thank you all for your patronage.
Shut up and take my money. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your patronage.
And
please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message. Beep.
Beep. Now remember, you go to CanaryCry.Newstalk.com. On the side of the page somewhere there's a big green bright tab. You click on that tab and you can leave us a message. Do whatever you want with it, man. It's not my responsibility, but you are agreeing to let us play it on the show, which we love doing, but it's not guaranteed. And today we didn't have any new voice messages.
No voice messages since we started doing this, I think.
I think, yeah.
Or at
I
least
think maybe there was one other episode early on that had 0 voice messages. But yeah, there you go. No voice messages. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, sad.
Haven't heard from Gene Hackman after all the attention I gave him last episode.
Yeah, that's tough.
Right. Yeah. All right, that is it.
Okay, well, let's wake up.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
And let's say goodbye to our YouTube friend here.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
Twitch, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is, you can find all those links at CanaryCry.Party as well.
Too hot for YouTube.
Fine. That's right.
YouTube. Now you see me. Now you don't.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Time to wake up.
We already did, but yeah.
Oh, we're already awake?
We are already awake, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Time for COVID.
Sometimes you wake up and you don't even know it.
Yeah, here we go.
It's Corona time.
COVID-19. COVID-19. COVID-19.
COVID-19. Yes.
COVID-19. COVID-19.
Coronavirus.
MedicalExpress.com. Vaccine blood clotting could be result of genetics. Okay.
Wait a second.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what they say here. Are you confused?
Wait a second. Okay.
Okay.
Weird. A gene editing therapy causes a gene-related adverse event. Strange. Okay.
The rare blood clot side effects associated with some COVID-19 vaccines could be the result of genetics, new research has found, paving the way.
Oh, so it's our fault. It's who we are that's the problem. It's not the product. It is our very existence and our nature that gives us the adverse effect.
Yes.
I'm understanding.
Paving the way for a potential genetic screening test.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, where is this all headed? Exactly where all the conspiracy theorists said it would go. Vaccine-induced thrombotic thrombocytopenia, VITT, a rare disorder causing thrombosis, blood clotting, and thrombocytopenia, low blood platelet counts, was early in 2021 linked to the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. leading the Australian government to restrict its rollout to those aged 65 and older. It is also associated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, Janssen, although the vaccine is not currently included in Australia's vaccination program. Now, a new study by Professor Tom Gordon, Dr. Jingjing Wang, and colleagues from Flinders University and SA Pathology may help to explain what's causing the rare side effects. The study has been published on a preprint server Med-Archive and has yet to be peer-reviewed. The researchers looked at 5 unrelated people who had all experienced the clotting complication, finding all of the patients had unusually structured antibodies against a protein called platelet factor 4, PF4, which is involved in blood clotting. Additionally, all 5 had a specific version of a gene responsible for producing these antibodies. Quote, we knew previously that PF4 was directly involved in the clotting disorder, and we knew that aberrant antibodies against PF4 are responsible, but what we don't know is how and why some people develop them, says lead author Dr. Wang from Flinders University College of Medicine and Public Health and SA Pathology. Quote, by unraveling the amino acid sequences of this antibody using a process called antibody proteomics, we were able to find that in all 5 unrelated patients, the antibodies had originated from the same basic amino acid sequence. The researchers then found that all of the patients carried a specific variant of one gene called IGLV3-21*02, most commonly occurring in people of European descent. They're trying to kill the white man. They were right. They're trying to take out the white West. And this proof right here. The only people affected by this, the clotting is the white man.
Right. Okay. So there's something wrong with the white man.
Genetically,
that makes it so
we need to fix you, Basil, is what we need to do.
Wow.
Just need to,
we need
you're
to
white.
test me.
Yeah, you're white. We need a full genetic screening, and then we'll fix the parts that are wrong, because you're obviously, we've been told by all of our politicians for a decade that, white is wrong, so.
I am adequately convinced that my whiteness is the worst thing about me.
100%.
That is funny.
It's my least favorite feature about you. You're
like
an all right guy, but
I like the way you put that. It's not that you don't like it. It's just your least favorite.
Yeah. If I could change anything, I'd change it.
That would be it.
Something else, You'd be my token black friend,
Yeah. That would help a lot of this show. That's very interesting. You know, and I don't know. I'm going to try to articulate out loud and think out loud and work my way through this because I don't know. I don't have it fully formed yet, and I'm hoping it just sort of happens. So when it comes to, first of all, when it came to COVID and the reporting on COVID, it was the minorities, the disadvantaged minorities who were most at risk, and COVID is killing people of color faster and harsher and worse, and COVID is killing people of color. Like that's the thing.
That was the narrative. Yep.
That's the whole thing. And then when it came to vaccines, it's like, it's so easy for the white people to get vaccines. Again, it's people of color who are having the hardest time taking the vaccines. Either they can't get to them, or their communities are not being served, or they have sort of cultural issues and historical issues, talking, Tuskegee experiment stuff. And, the people of color are much more skeptical of vaccines. And then this turns out, if you're a white person, you have a special gene that the vaccine hurts you more than other people. I mean, I don't have a theory of everything here, but I'm just laying out the details. COVID, bad for POCs. Vaccine, worse for white people.
But, it is, you got to keep in mind, too, this study, they said they took 5 unrelated people That's a pretty small sample size, but also
5. That doesn't make a lot of. That's not even worth really even calling science at that point.
I think they took people that did suffer from blood clots from the vaccines, and maybe that's why the pool of people are a little less. But yeah, I don't know. It's just very interesting. I wouldn't have brought the story unless that line was in there. It's kind of like, oh, whatever. Sure, blood clotting result of genetics. You can kind of extract some stuff, but specifically the part where it's like, yeah, they all had all 5 random ones. The people had this variant gene, and it's all a European descent.
The white weakness, the white vaccine weakness.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a whole bunch of other stories. I don't know which one you want to dig into, but
I'm going to let you just take me on an adventure.
Sure, okay.
I'll take the second half of this segment. So you just take us on through COVID land here.
You got Shilzilla on the wing. He's waiting. I see him poking his head around the corner. Yeah. So, okay.
We don't let him in the building. He's peeking through the mail slot.
He's only allowed in during the report.
Yeah, you work from home, Chris. We don't need you in the office.
So Reuters.com, mirrored by MSN, had this headline: Thai politician, that's from Thailand, indicted for royal insult over vaccine speech. And the
royal insults.
Yeah,
some people send me emails about how I give you royal insults. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I think we're going to indict you. You're white and you're throwing insults against
Trust me, I'm ready. Yeah.
Asian royalty here. A prominent Thai politician faces up to 20 years in prison following his indictment on Monday for insulting the king and violating a cyber law after he criticized the government for over-reliance on a royal-owned firm to supply COVID-19 vaccines.
Cyber law. Broke a cyber law.
You insult the king. This is so... There's some archaic aspects of this. It's, if you're a king, can't you just let this go? Are you going to really be like, we're going to jail you? You insulted me. I am the king.
I have I've brought a full report on the King of Thailand on this show in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I can't really recite it back to you. It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
But he's a very interesting guy. He's a very weird sort of fella who is also just like full on Illuminati member.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's different flavors, I guess, of Illuminati lizard people.
Right. He's the Illuminati of the East.
Right.
And he doesn't live in his country. He doesn't like being in Thailand.
No.
He lives in Europe.
Rules from another area. This is APnews.com. Thousands rally in LA to oppose COVID-19 vaccine mandates. Basil, I live near LA. I'm not in LA, but a half-hour drive on a good day. I had no idea thousands of people are gathering against mandates. I'm in Orange County.
That's a point in the I don't know. California gets points.
Yeah.
You actually had thousands of people show up to.
Well, here's the thing. The rest of the world has, other than China, has moved on. Right. It's like China and LA are the only places that are like, nope, still mandate, everything locked down. And so I think the people are like,
sorry, my brain stopped. You all heard it. My brain turned off for a second because what I was waiting for my processors to catch up on is like, wait, are there still mandates in LA?
I think so.
Are there mandates strong enough that they need protests? I mean, apparently.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I was reading this. I'm like, is this from like last summer or something? No, yesterday, thousands of people, including truckers and firefighters from across the country, gathered Sunday outside Los Angeles City Hall to protest vaccination mandates designed to slow the spread of COVID. There was a people's convoy. It's kind of like the truckers.
Look,
it looks
just
like.
Because they were designed to stop the slow of the spread doesn't mean they do. We read about a robot that was designed to peel a banana. Okay, it did not do a very good job.
Yeah, so there you go. I had no idea. And then, one other headline here
real quick, just for a quick point of analysis.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they made a point to say, like, oh, these protesters, they're from across the country.
Right.
Like, oh, they're not from here.
Yeah,
you ain't from here, are you?
This is middle America Trump white nationalists coming on our turf. Protesting.
Here in LA, we love our mandates. But why? But I mean, the question is then begged: why in the world would truckers from across the country go to
LA? It is weird.
LA, like it makes sense to go to Washington D.C., but why LA? I don't know. I don't buy it.
There's
maybe
definitely
somebody
an aspect
was there
of some kind of psyop here. But the fact that there hasn't been a lot of press on it is also interesting, So, something to keep in mind here. And then, of course, from MinaFN.com, headline here, COVID can impair men's fertility, study says. A new study. I know we had a report.
It seems like we've known this for a while.
I guess there's a new one here. While many people who recover from COVID-19 experience long-term symptoms such as brain fog or heart problems, increasing evidence suggests that the virus can also impair fertility in men. And, of course, that makes a whole lot of sense.
This is long COVID.
Long COVID.
Yeah, so get your vaccine or else you're not a man, is what they're trying to say.
Yeah, and it fits the whole thesis of the eugenics movement.
We should invite fewer people to be born.
Just give a little jab, and then the problem will eliminate itself. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm grateful for two things, Gonz. I'm grateful that you were in charge of bringing this article.
Okay.
And I'm in charge, and I'm grateful that you did not actually read the whole article.
Oh, why?
Because there is some extremely clinical language in here that I would not feel comfortable having on this show.
Yeah, I may have. I was going to have you read it, and then
that would have
see
been
your googly eyes
dramatic,
turn bloodshot red, and explode on screen, which is what everybody wants.
Again, they're all very clinical words, but not clinical words that I want to read on this show.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Long COVID, not good for you. Imagine that. Go get your vaccine, or else you're less of a man. Apparently.
Yeah.
All right. Is it time?
It's time.
Oh no!
A shill for sure.
It's Shillzilla. Chris Cillizza, you may know him as. Always giving me gifts throughout the year, not just for Christmas or my birthday or Arbor Day or whatever.
It's weekly now.
Anytime that we do not have like a full show, anytime that we need a little something, anytime I am ever in need, Chris Cillizza is there to provide. Daddy Shillzilla is here to bring the show. And today, no different, came out today at 12:04 p.m.
Ooh, what's he signaling?
Eastern time. It's so funny. He never can hit a deadline. It's always like a few minutes after
Chris,
the
hit the
hour.
schedule button. There's a thing where you can schedule posts, so you can do some hard, time numbers instead of.
This is why he's the YouTube guy. Okay, you're not making it to cable.
I like the idea of some CNN exec sitting him down and like, look, Chris, you gotta publish on time. None of this.
Come on,
12:04, 12:03. Sorry, go on. I don't know why that is so.
No, I mean, I totally get it. I imagined for a second that it was what's his face doing it, but he's not there anymore. All right, doesn't matter.
Zucker.
Here he is, Chris Shillzilla, Zucker. Yeah. The
Another
headline is
by the way.
Oh my God. Donald Trump's most ridiculous claim.
We will launch a new age.
Is it that? Is that the one?
Yeah. No, even more ridiculous than that, Gonz.
Can't be. Okay.
I don't know how it's possible.
All right.
And by the way, if you're new to the show, Chris Shillzilla, as he's so lovingly known as here, is his entire career is basically writing blog posts about Trump. No matter what, it doesn't. I mean, and look, that's not strange. Of course, CNN and the mainstream media in general, forever, but especially the past few years, have entirely focused on Trump. It's very profitable. It's very, it sells ads. People read it. You just mentioned Trump. And while so many other mainstream news outlets have sort of let Trump fade into the background just a bit, Chris Cillizza single-handedly hitting the quota of Trump articles for the entire universe's mainstream Trump quota. I mean, the Martians don't even have to write anything about Trump
He's
anymore.
probably keeping his job by doing that, He's
a token. He's this very interesting, in the Swiss Army knife that is CNN's roster of people. Chris Cillizza is the tiny pair of scissors that can't cut anything. They can't do anything. They hurt your fingers to use, but you just like knowing that they're there, and you just never know. All right, enough about that. Chris Cillizza says this. To say that Donald Trump has said something outrageous and laughable is de rigueur at this point. Do you know what that word means?
I have no clue. Let me
D-E.
Google.
Yeah, Google it. D-E space R-I-G-E-U-R. And Chris teaches me new words, new sort of, I don't know.
Tropes, sayings, phrases.
Is that what it is? It's a trope, basically.
It's an adjective. It's prescribed or required by fashion, etiquette, or custom. Okay. A tattoo is a
So basically, Chris's entire career is just custom at this point.
Right.
All right. To say that Donald Trump has said something outrageous and laughable is de rigueur at this point. After all, this is a man who wondered whether Ted Cruz's father was involved in the assassination of John F. Kennedy. A man who has said windmills cause cancer. And a man who suggested the use of disinfectant to combat COVID-19. Love it. And he's always so good at bringing back actual fake news. In working it into his articles.
Weaving it in. He's a master weaver.
And just moving on as if it were some sort of spell that he's casting. So when I say that Trump said perhaps the most outrageous thing he's ever uttered over the weekend at a rally in North Carolina, he says with disdain, well, that's saying something.
Okay.
Without further ado, then, let's get to it.
Yes, thank you. Let's hear it. Come on.
He's a showman.
Ready. Yeah.
Quote, and here it is. I've got to be the cleanest. I think I'm the most honest human being, perhaps, that God has ever created, Trump said.
I did not see this before we went live today, so I'm hearing this for the first time.
We're barred from reading this. I've got to be the cleanest. I think I'm the most honest human being.
The most honest human being, perhaps, that God has ever created. Oh my gosh. Did he really say that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's Chris. Chris could have just made it up, but he does have a video here. He has a clip if you want.
You can and should watch it for yourself. Yes, I would like to watch it for myself. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Let me make sure the site is unmuted here. There we go. Oh, it's 11 seconds.
I've got to be the cleanest sheriff. I think I'm the most honest human being, perhaps, that God ever created. Perhaps. Instead of
it's just it's like a Trump. Come on,
it's just Trump doing Trump, man. It's Trump doing Trump stuff.
I gotta be honest though, if he hadn't told me to watch it, just reading it from Chris's thing, there's a moment I'm like, oh. And Trump really has lost it.
That's what I'm saying. That's Chris's superpower.
Magical
Chris Cillizza's
superpower
is like sort of this cosmically relevant lack of a sense of humor.
I know, it's unbelievable. Can you not? Yeah. I mean, I want to. Would he go to like a stand-up comedy show and sit there and be like, "That's not funny," or like, "I don't get it." Is he like that guy?
Oh no, he would write an article about how Carrot Top said, something offensive. And it's like, yeah, he's a comedian. And this is what Chris doesn't get. And it's the source of all of his power is that, look, we are not here to defend Trump. He doesn't need us.
Yeah.
But pretty much 100% of the things Chris reports on Trump saying is him just being a showman, And this is something like he's just a showman. I can't take it.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Ahead,
Don't read too far.
We got to
Hold on.
Yeah.
So you can hear it in everybody's laughing. It's not, he's being a smart aleck is what Trump's doing, but still a crazy thing to say, especially to see it written out. Here we go. The laughter from the decidedly pro-Trump crowd is really, and he does this a lot, he puts in parentheses, chef's kiss.
Mwah. And he actually has a link to foodandwine.com.
He does this a lot. He links this chef's kiss as sort of a weird rhetorical device. And I love it, Chris. I love it. Keep doing what you're doing. Now, a little context. Trump made his, quote, most honest human being comment amid a rant, crossed out, riff on the various investigations he and his administration were subject to during his time in office. Quote, you've been investigated years and years, millions and millions of pages of documents. They found nothing, Trump said, recounting a conversation with a nameless friend. I'd be willing to entertain bets on whether said friend actually exists. Yeah, because he's a comedian. They make up people all the time. Just so we're clear, the investigations into Trump didn't find nothing, he puts in quotes. Special counsel Robert Mueller found, plenty.
Oh, are we really bringing up Mueller now in 2022?
I know.
What in the world?
I know. Oh. Here's what he had to say on whether Trump obstructed his investigation. Okay, so this is
before everything came out about how ridiculous this whole thing was?
Yes. And this is, keep in mind, this is not about what his investigation found. This is about Trump's behavior during his investigation, which, again, Chris is pulling a little switcheroo on us here. But it goes, if we had confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts that the president clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state, reads the Mueller report. Based on the facts and the applicable legal standards, we are unable to reach that judgment. Accordingly, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. Ooh, got him, Chris. Cool. It does not exonerate him, Chris rewrites in quotes. Then there was the infamous phone call in which Trump makes clear that the United States does a lot for Ukraine and, could they look into his likely general election opponent in 2020? Again.
Okay.
Yeah, really, this is the Chris thing. It gets really boring because what he does is he brings up something Trump said or did and just uses it to sort of then rehash a bunch of debunked, Orange Man bad stuff.
He's going to have to find a different target after Trump goes away. What's he going to do?
I think Chris is betting all of his chips on Trump not going away.
I mean, in the short term, sure, but I'm talking 5 years from now. Is he going to bring
after he wins 2024?
Okay, all right, you're right. I guess he could be around for a while.
I mean, and Chris might single-handedly be responsible for Trump actually getting reelected. Yeah. I'm not totally against that theory. And don't even get me started on more than 30,000, not a typo, false or misleading claims made, according to the Washington Post, during his 4 years in office. Heck, Trump has admitted his penchant for exaggeration, and now he copies and pastes a part of Art of the Deal,
his book,
which Chris
himself deploys as part of his.
Chris Cillizza has read Art of the Deal more than any other person, I think. He's read it more than Trump has or whatever, because he loves bringing up Art of the Deal. It's like this grimoire that he can crack open at any moment and apply to whatever Trump is doing.
Like his Bible.
It is.
Or
it seriously
is. The anti-Bible. It's like his... the people that are really obsessed with what was Hitler's book, that big book that he wrote, Mein Kampf.
Mein Kampf.
People that are, they're not Hitler supporters, but they just they love his book.
Yes, they
all this stuff. It's kind of it's like an obsession.
It's a tome. It's a portal into the mind of a madman.
Right.
And in that spirit, Chris Cillizza has multiple
inside
copies.
And out. Yeah.
And this is because he literally quotes this book almost every article. Quote, "I play to people's fantasies," he wrote in Art of the Deal. "People may not always think big themselves." He uses this exact quote all the time, "but they can still get very excited about those who do. That's why a little hyperbole never hurts. People want to believe that something is the biggest and the greatest and the most spectacular. I call it truthful hyperbole. It's an innocent form of exaggeration and a very effective form of promotion."
Which is exactly every single time he busts out this quote, because this is not the first time.
He did it about Trump's golf game, about his hole-in-one. He did this exact quote.
And again, for anybody who's looking at this with any iota of objectivity, would notice that, hey, Chris, that is exactly what you're doing. An effective form of promotion, truthful hyperbole. I mean, maybe truthful is going too far, but hyperbole for sure in terms of what you're doing here, Chris, with coloring Trump the way you do.
Yep.
And this is not to, again, defend Trump. It's just to show the ridiculous slant here. But yeah.
It's just, somebody's got to give Chris attention and nobody else does. So I'm doing it for him. And he continues, "The word truthful is doing a lot of work there, like a lot," Chris says. "The facts are plain. Donald Trump's 4 years in office were literally defined. Really? Literally defined? I don't think you mean that. By his unwillingness to tell the truth about matters both big and small. Not even he then can believe that he is the most honest human being, perhaps, that God has ever created." Yes, Chris. And in that, Chris has identified himself as being in complete agreement with the crowd of Trump supporters who were laughing at his joke. So I don't know how you feel about that, Chris, but you've got a lot in common with thousands of people who showed up to that Trump rally to support him. And there you go. There's a little check-in with Chris Cillizza, folks. I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. And someday, Daddy Chris his gifts will run dry, but that day will not come soon.
And maybe he'll come work for us, Maybe he'll be a producer of Canary Cry News Talk one day and hey, if he would you knight him right away, or would you make him?
No. He's got to earn it. He's got to earn it just like everybody else.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, let's take another quick break. That's too much Shillzilla. I need a break.
Palate cleanser.
Take a break.
This is our second break where we thank our producers who come in with their talent. We consider Canary Cry News Talk to be a place for therapeutic reflection of our troubling world, and we encourage listeners, producers, everyone out there to express the frustrations, ridiculousness, all the things going on through art, music, jingles, ISOs, any which way, any kind of media, any kind of art. And so we can process it together. We like to share it here and have a good laugh and build the community of Canarians looking at the world through the lens of biblical prophecy and not being afraid of any of this stuff. It can be scary sounding, but, and in the end, we know who wins in the end, that old trope.
Okay. Yeah. So what do we got?
We can start off with the audio production here.
Audio production.
And we actually already played the jingle. It was the new Monday morning jingle that was sent in, or not Monday morning, but Monday jingle that was sent in by Jonathan F. So thank you very much, Jonathan F, for that. Let me play it again. Ooh, what's going on here? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Wait, no. Wait, what happened? Where is it?
Uh-oh.
I played it earlier, right?
Happening again.
How can the file go missing? Here it is.
Gary, what day is it? Ow, Monday.
It's still got a great vibe.
I like it.
It's still got a very good vibe. Thank you very much, Jonathan F.
Thank you, Jonathan F.
Yeah.
That was it for the audio, I think.
Yeah, I did want to take a second because I am aware of something that you are not aware of.
Oh, great. There's a lot of things I'm not aware of, so that doesn't really help me.
Speaking of audio production, Ghosternaut, one of our new prolific, very talented audio producers, has a birthday that we are going to celebrate today. Yay! Installing to
Here we go. Happy birthday, Ghosternaut.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for being such a fun member of the team around here, and we're happy to send you a warm Canary Cry. Happy birthday. Now go rattle some rumps. Okay, that's it.
One art, please.
Let's kick it off with Dame Allie.
One RC, another one from Allie now. Here it is.
And this came with a note here. All that talk about Gene Hackman in Sunday's show done inspired some art.
Oh, I'm glad.
Attached is the visual inspiration and the final result. So we have the visual inspiration, which is
Hackerman.
Hackerman, yeah. This is a Mr. Robot, right?
The actor is from Mr. Robot. Hackerman is, I may not get the details right. I believe Hackerman is a very popular, well-made YouTube show or clip or something. I've seen one video of it. It's called Hackerman, and it's very funny, and it's kind of like very campy, sort of 80s themed ideas of what hacking is, and I think he has to like hack time or something.
Oh, okay, so I have zero reference to this cultural phenomenon called Hackerman.
You should check it out. Hackerman is pretty funny. Yes, and in the style of Hackerman, the pose at least, we have trying to think of how to do this. We've got Hackerman Gene Hackman, hacking genes like he did in the last episode, and it's Gene Hackman posing like Hackerman. His face is there, and it's staring right into me, and it's making me remember all of the times this morning.
You can't even get the words out. The trauma is so deep.
No,
you need to process that trauma. Yeah.
I had an interesting time going through his IMDb after our Gene Hackman
thing. Yeah.
Gene hacking thing. But this is very well done. Thank you very much, Dame Allie, for bringing it all together, full circle. Gene Hackerman.
We figured it out. We figured you out there, Mr. Actor Man.
My brain has broken today, I think. Yeah. This is what happens when we do two shows in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Dame Allie.
Too much feedback, some phasing issues. All right, moving on here. Thank you very much, Allie. We're going to go with Sir Dove, Knight of Respeltia.
One art piece from Dove.
And as always, it's Monday, so we're talking 2 art pieces. And he has a note, and he says, "Peace. For this week's Bible artwork, I did an illustration for Psalm 40's Mark 13. He sent in yesterday's show. They will deliver you over to the courts, and you will be mistreated, but this will be your opportunity to bear witness." I think I got the other one here. Mark 13. If you want to describe the art real quick, just to get that going.
This is not the water one. This is
the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a brick, not a brick, like a stone wall with some illustration of barbed wire on the sides there, and it says right over the top there, "They will deliver you over to the courts, and you will be mistreated, but this will be your opportunity to bear witness," in all sorts of different cool fonts and graffiti style artwork. Thank you very much, Sir Dove, for that. By the way, Sir Dove, I hope he doesn't mind. I'm going to ask, because I'm a considerate friend, I would love to give out Sir Dove's Instagram handle, because he posts all this stuff and more on his Instagram.
Oh.
And I think Canarians should go check him out.
Yeah.
I'm going to just check in with him unless he's in the chat, which I'm not sure if he is. But yes, so there you go. When I do give you that, you should go follow him.
Yep. And then here's another one for Psalm 98:8. And the scripture is, "Let the rivers clap their hands, let the hills sing for joy together before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with equity." Hope you guys like him. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for you.
And they've got 3 happy hills standing in a row there, singing songs, praising the Lord. And there's like a river or a lake or something in front of them with 2 big watery hands clapping along. So fun. Thank you very much, Sir Dove.
Thank you, Sir Dove. And that does it for the art today, which understandably...
Light on the production, but that's okay. What happens when we're going so fast here.
We do have a microfiction, though.
Microfiction.
Microfiction. And it is from Runk Smash. Here we go.
Gene Hackman bursts forth from the no-no room and charges Nimrod, leaping into the air, but Clippy sprays him with mosquito repellent. He buzzes, "I'm sorry, Basil," and shuts down as a tiny bug leaves the robot. Abigail looks on in existential horror.
Terror. Yeah, your brain is broken. How do you mess up the last word of the thing?
I have an autothesaurus. My autothesaurus protocols are replacing words. Yes, wonderful callbacks to some Gene Hackman facts from last episode there. We did learn that all robots are actually being controlled by tiny genetically modified mosquitoes.
Oh, right.
Right. You get it.
Yeah.
We have another microfiction from the Sentinel.
The Sentinel. Here we go.
Skatesy Gonz places his hand on Basil's shoulder. You rescued me. Why? I quit on you. Basil's voice breaks. Basil, son, we are not like Alpha Boys. We are not House of Skaten. We do not abandon each other. We do not hold grudges. We love each other unconditionally. Why? Because we are resurrection rollers. Basil begins to cry in a very manly way. I am sorry, Skatesy. Will you forgive me? Skatesy Gonz begins to cry too. Oh, Basil, son, you need not apologize. I am sorry. Will you please forgive me? They embrace each other in a hug. Alpha Boys groan in pain around them. There was no description on how exactly you were crying. So again, I just had to make a choice. Creative choice there, Gonz. Nothing personal.
It's okay.
Thank you very much, the Sentinel.
Thank you,
Wonderful
Sentinel.
As always. And of course, Runk Smash.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, man. I think we're moving. I think we're moving right along.
Yeah,
wow, we're actually on time.
Are we?
We just started the segment. Almost directly on time, and me doing this has put us 15 seconds behind. Let's go!
It's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
What are we talking about? We talking
the metaverse.
Welcome to the
Metaverse.
New York Post, your favorite outlet. And the headline here: Meta shareholders slam Zuckerberg.
Slam him.
Question Metaverse's dystopian downsides. I like that.
Wow.
Dystopian downsides.
Yeah.
It's a good use
This
of
is the
alliteration.
shareholders.
Shareholders.
These are the people that he is legally, fiduciarily responsible for guiding the company for.
It's too far for the Meta shareholders? What is going on?
The people who stand to make $1 billion from his decisions, that shows you just the degree by which they are questioning the intentions of their lizard operators, plans. They're like, hey, we are specifically the ones who are going to make $1 billion from this crazy plan of yours, Mark. But this is a little much even for us, bro.
We saw Real Player One, and we think you're the bad guy.
I'll give up $1 billion if you please just don't destroy humanity with your stupid metaverse.
Okay, so this is New York Post. A group of angry shareholders say Mark Zuckerberg's weak leadership has sent Meta's stock tumbling 34% this year, and they plan to push for checks on the CEO's power, the Post has learned. You know,
34%, so close. Huh?
So close, yeah. Somebody gave that extra sell.
Missed it just by a little bit.
Also, you know, what a great excuse. You know, because we've had the issue with the inflation, the interest rates going back up, the Fed's trying to
all because of Putin. Man.
All because of Putin. But then the tech stocks have been doing not so great recently, and it's a great opportunity to sort of shake things up, hit the reset button on Meta. Concerned investors are pushing 2 resolutions at the social media titan's upcoming shareholder meeting. They say would provide badly needed oversight of Facebook, Instagram, and the potential dystopian downsides, in quotes, of Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse project.
Listen to that. Look at the way they put that. Not dystopian downsides of Meta, not dystopian downsides of the metaverse, dystopian downsides of Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse. It is his project. It is not the company. It is not nothing. This is his personal screw up.
If an effort to drum up support, a corporate accountability group called Some of Us, SUMOFUS, all one word, Some of Us, sounds super hive mind, that's working with activist investors, is sending a report to more than 4,000 institutional investors with stakes in the company. Among them, Vanguard, Fidelity, and BlackRock. No surprises on any of those names. The scathing report, which was exclusively obtained by the Post, describes 3 crises engulfing, in quotes, Zuckerberg's company. Privacy restrictions by Google and Apple that have bruised Meta's advertising business. The storm of antitrust lawsuits and bills targeting Meta and other big tech firms, as well as allegations that Zuckerberg has lied to investors and lawmakers about Instagram's harmful effects on teens. The group places blame for these crises squarely on Zuckerberg. It's funny how all the scapegoat. Yeah.
Yep.
Who they say has failed to prove that his recent embrace of the metaverse is anything more than a, quote, rushed attempt to divert attention from fundamental issues with Meta's core business, end quote. Christina O'Connell, Some of Us's shareholder engagement advisor, told the Post that Meta's plummeting stock price should wake up investors. Quote,
well, that's usually what does it.
Quote, when you see a loss of over $230 billion in February, that shakes up everybody, and that should be a sign that it's time for a change, O'Connell said. The first resolution, which Some of Us is pushing alongside shareholders, Harrington Investment, and the Park Foundation, calls for an outside assessment of Meta's Audit and Risk Oversight Committee, a board the company created in 2020 that is supposedly independent from Zuckerberg and makes decisions about content moderation issues, such as former President Donald Trump's ban from Facebook and Instagram. Quote, there's a real concern that given the amount of problems we've seen with the company, that the committee is not managing the company's behavior and performance very well, O'Connell said. Quote, we would like to see an independent analysis of how that committee is functioning. The second resolution sounds the alarm about, quote, potentially psychological and civil and human rights harms associated with Zuckerberg's metaverse push.
Human rights harms.
Yeah. The proposal is supported by Some of Us alongside responsible investment fund Arjuna Capital.
Arjuna, yeah.
Where do we see that? We saw that name recently somewhere.
Yeah, we followed Arjuna over the past few years. They're involved in all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, investor advisor group Share and Storebrand, a Norwegian asset manager that manages more than $100 billion. The groups want Meta to commission an outside audit of the metaverse's potential risks, such as the potential for harassment and hate speech, as well as privacy concerns. Then seek a shareholder vote to gauge whether investors support the project. Quote, Meta has been unable to manage its problems here now in the world where we're all living. So it's pretty shocking that they want to move into a more complex platform, such as the metaverse, O'Connell said. Oops. Harms to children, harassment, hate speech, that all becomes amplified when you start moving into the metaverse. A couple non-flattering pictures of Mark. Meta's board has urged shareholders to vote against both resolutions, calling them unnecessary. Meta's unconventional...
That is a hilarious way to describe it.
Yeah, I know.
Don't just ignore it. Why? What's wrong with it? It's just unnecessary. Just like not even addressing the issues. No. Not denying it, not doing anything. Nah, just this whole thing's unnecessary.
We're trying to build the future here. We don't have time
let's just breeze past it, okay? It's just unnecessary. Keep moving.
Meta's unconventional ownership structure allows Zuckerberg to effectively veto any shareholder attempt to change the company's operations. I wonder if that's what Elon's shooting for with Twitter. That kind of power. His stake in Meta is composed largely of super voting shares, allowing him to control roughly 58% of votes when the company considers shareholder proposals. Holy cow.
So being a shareholder means absolutely nothing.
Oh my gosh, that is insane. Nonetheless, O'Connell argues...
just whatever he says goes, no matter what.
Talk about a centralized authoritarian system. Nonetheless,
it's
O'Connell,
a fake public company is what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you're trying to breeze through it.
Go ahead.
I just think it's a very interesting. I had heard that is the case. I didn't know that those were the details. So, anyways, okay, keep going.
Nonetheless, O'Connell argues that shareholder action is still one of the best ways to push Zuckerberg to change his ways. The resolutions were included in Meta's proxy statement, which was sent to shareholders on Friday. Shareholders will now submit votes on the resolutions ahead of Meta's annual shareholder meeting, which is set for May 25th. Backers of the proposals will be allowed to speak at the virtual meeting, and the results of the vote will be announced afterward. Quote, even when shareholder resolutions don't win the majority, they do have influence in the board and in management, and also notify the broader public that shareholders are worried about what's going on, O'Connell said.
Yeah,
which makes sense. We want to see real corporate governance. We want to see competent management of this company. Asked for comment on the resolutions, a Meta spokesperson said, quote, we value the views of our investors and regularly engage with them to get their perspective. We look forward to continuing the dialogue, including at our annual shareholder meeting in May. That was
what was that noise? Was that the lizard people? Yeah, okay.
Statement. And that's the end of the article. So we'll keep an eye on what happens here. But yeah, part of the Great Reset, I don't think people had considered, this type of thing where you really have a different, you have musical chairs. Maybe Zuckerberg is out, who knows? And who would take over? What would take over? These are questions that I think will unfold. But, the
fun part about this is that it's not going to do anything.
Ultimately, in the bottom line.
Right. But nothing's going to change with this shareholder vote because he's got this crazy control structure, which is a genius move. Only a lizard person could think of it. But the fact that they are they're getting attention from all of the, the actual stakeholders. You're talking BlackRock, Vanguard, Arjuna, all these huge, you talk about the gods, the little g gods of this world. Yeah. It's things like that, places like that, and the principalities and powers behind them who really do the controlling of things. And you can really see how Zuckerberg is this interesting character who somehow has built this little empire for himself, but he
had the assistance of the centralized intelligence agencies.
Right. Yeah, that certainly helps. But it is the BlackRock, Vanguard, all these hedge funds, they are not only on board with ESG and the Great Reset, they have strategies to perfectly profit from them no matter what. No matter how the Great Reset goes, they're hedged against all possibilities. I was just reading a report about BlackRock and how they are in regards to the climate change situation, which is all part of the Great Reset ESG stuff. No matter what happens, whether the Great Reset works and everything moves over to, renewable energies and blah, 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 they're going to do great. Or if it doesn't work, they're incredibly leveraged in traditional fossil fuels. So it's just an example of how these humongous titans of capital, they don't actually really care what happens. They care that they are able to maintain, this sort of demigod-like status through their power of capital. Leverage. And so, the ESG implications, the Great Reset ESG implications of some of us, which I'm on their website now. I'm kind of trying to get more details, but I probably need to do more later. It's this sort of ESG social justice type of thing where it's not, we can agree with whatever they're doing here. Like, yeah, take down Zuckerberg. We don't care. But it's what's the plan after that? And who always has a plan? It's the hedge funds. So, and the actual capital, the building block of capitalism, they always have a plan. So, I think he's made some enemies. I don't think this is going to do anything. But considering with Frances, what's her face, the Collins? No, the woman who came out talking about how Mark Zuckerberg knows that he's hurting children's brains and testified in Congress, that whole thing.
I forget her name.
She's become sort of like the mascot of anti-Facebook stuff.
Yeah, she got the standing ovation at the...
and she's got all her money coming from, intelligence agency.
I forget her name. What was her name? The whistleblower, right?
Francis. Yeah, Francis something. Or something Francis. I remember because we had an episode where we had back-to-back stories about Francis Collins, Pope Francis, and this woman.
Right. Francis Haugen.
Yeah. So the point is, I think, Mark Zuckerberg is on the ropes. This New World Order 2.0 is less about individual strong men and women, but the term strong man. And that's why Trump is unacceptable. That's why Bill Gates is unacceptable. And we've seen his sort of takedown, no matter how much he's trying to come back. We've seen Mark Zuckerberg. It's these individuals. Even Elon, is not. Take it away from money, put it into entertainment and influence. You talk about Joe Rogan. Individual strongmen, I believe, are part of the main set of targets for the Great Reset, because it's about stakeholders. And when they say stakeholders, it's not even about people. People are not the stakeholders. It's capital. Capital are the stakeholders. They're trying to centralize the power of capital. And rogue individual lizard people who want to become some sort of, emperor of some kind, they're in the crosshairs. I think this is more of a threat than anything else. And but it's fun. It's fun to see. It's fun to see lizard people threaten other lizard people.
Yeah. Speaking of the ESG thing, just so we got a minute here to wrap things up, I did find this article, which was interesting. It was published on MSN or mirrored on MSN from CNBC, and it's the headline is ESG ETFs are experiencing greeniums, says Buckingham Strategic Wealth's Larry Swedroe. And so there's like
that was in the same analysis that I was reading. This greenium idea, where much like how during the pandemic, like food companies, lots of companies made a ton of money, made record profits, outpacing inflation. Like they'll blame it on inflation. They'll say, "Oh yeah, chicken's so expensive because of inflation and other stuff." But the numbers have bore out that their profits, their percentage of profit growth, way outpaces what the numbers should have been with inflation and stuff. So it's this premium that they've put on the product. And these ESG products, and when they say products and ESG, they mean financial products mostly. Hedge funds and other stuff like that. I'm sorry, not hedge funds, index funds, ESG index funds and things like that. They are just boosting the price and the value of these things simply because of the letters ESG being next to it. It's greenium, where it's worth more just because it says ESG. It's an artificial value that has no connection to anything. And you say, well, yeah, that's most things on Wall Street. And you're right, but ESG even more so. And the fact that it's all wrapped up is the building block of the Great Reset New World Order 2.0. is a beautiful metaphor for what the whole climate change conversation has been about for decades.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
I think this is just, we can put it in the red book if you want, but I think when Ethereum, the second biggest crypto, Bitcoin number 1, Ethereum number 2, when it goes to proof of stake, like fully, because they've been doing the transition for a couple of years now and they've had delays and all kinds of problems. But if they get there, I think we'll see a huge crypto sort of thing happen with ESG because of all the sustainable green type of crypto mining and crypto proof of stake basically is like the darling of ESG when it comes to crypto because it's green, it doesn't take up as much energy as Bitcoin, even though that argument is the Bitcoin takes up too much energy argument is flawed if you really look into it.
Yeah, it's a rhetorical device more than anything.
But I can see that happening, that the Ethereum exploding in price and really moving us into the crypto economy because who was it? One of the Shark Tank guys, Larry something or other. He was saying recently that what was his name?
I don't know. I was going to say Larry Summers.
No, not Larry Summers.
I don't think that's it.
No, that's not him. But he was saying that crypto will basically become, I forget the exact phrase, like the 12th asset class or something like that. There's like all these different asset classes in the stock market and all that, but it'll be its own thing. So he's expecting a lot of money to flow into the crypto space as part of, and I think they're waiting for like the ESG thing, and the cryptos that aren't compliant are going to all just kind of wash away, and then these new companies that are shiny and green are going to pump. Which is still a very funny concept because Bitcoin has no centralized organization, really. Yeah, you can't call the Bitcoin CEO to shut it down.
Yeah, there's nobody to mess with Bitcoin, whereas with Ethereum, you got a guy's phone number. You can call him and mess with him.
Vitalik.
I think that's very good. And along those lines, if you're okay to move forward,
I think
we can end with something breaking.
Oh, okay.
So if you're able to, if you got money or circle back Saki, something laying around
here we
for
go.
both of those.
Yep, got a Saki here.
It's an interesting question. Circle back. We'll circle back.
Okay. You got money laying around? You can save it.
Money,
money, baby. Money, baby.
Oh, here
We're
we go.
circling back.
Saki making millions.
That's right. Breaking from today over here on the Daily Caller. So keep that in mind. But the headline is Saki warns of extraordinarily elevated inflation data, blames Putin's price hike. Oh, it's Putin. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki warned Monday that the administration is expecting extraordinarily elevated monthly inflation data. Uh-oh. The Consumer Price Index for March is expected to be released Tuesday. That's tomorrow. And experts predict it will show 8.4.
So because of the actions we've taken to
Oh my gosh. Sorry. It just started playing.
8.4% inflation over the past year, Axios reported. Psaki, speaking to reporters during a press briefing Monday, blamed Russian President Vladimir Putin for the incoming elevated numbers. This is the quote. Because of the actions were taken to address the Putin price hike, we are in a better place than we were last month. But we expect March CPI headline inflation to be extraordinarily elevated due to Putin's price hike. She said it again.
Psaki. Putin price.
Yeah, she's the communication director. Of course, they put quotes around this Putin's price hike, hoping it sticks. And we expect a large difference between core and headline inflation, reflecting the global disruptions in energy and food markets, Psaki said. She's basically saying, yeah, it's pretty bad, guys, and it's gonna get worse. But ignore the headlines. Don't listen to it. It's all
Be
Putin's
mad at
price
Putin.
hike. Yeah, she's hoping all the wine.
Yeah.
All the wine moms latch onto this Putin's price hike.
All the shroom moms.
1, 2,
Putin
mushroom mommies. I'm going to count it. I'm going to just roll down this article and count how many times they use it. 1, 2, Putin's 3, 4. Yeah, it's like 6 times. There's another one. 7.
Wait. What phrase?
Putin's price hike.
Okay. Yeah. I
was like, so there you go.
Here.
It's over and over. Oh, there's more than that. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, no. You know what? I'm on a different article. I'm on the Real Clear Politics article. But yeah.
Oh, don't worry about it. This is not the important part. But yes, it's repetition, baby. That's how you get it into the minds of the people. Repetition. And remember, this is the Daily Caller, which we have realized over the past few weeks that they are doing a wonderful job at preparing the way for a very profitable advertising season during the midterms.
Yeah.
And so Daily Caller, it knows what they're doing. They are not, this is what's his face?
Ben Shapiro.
Waffle Man. Yeah, Ben Shapiro, Waffle Man. He is the master of advertising. And
everybody loves waffles.
Why we're punching it, baby. We are putting Putin's price hike into the minds of the people. Thank you very much, Jen Psaki. Thank you very much, Ben Shapiro. And that's all we have for today.
The year of PPH.
PPH. Ooh,
are you going to get vaccinated against the PPH, man?
Oh, we need a Putin's vax, man.
We need a Putin vax because, we can't sustain this Putin price hike. We need a vaccine to lower.
Putin on the vax. All right, we're done. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. We're going to be back on Wednesday, the 13th of April. Ooh, be there. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to try to start the show earlier on Wednesday, just so y'all know. And remember, we will need producers for Wednesday's show. We cannot live in this weird underground secret layer that we've created, our layer of truth, without the support of our producers. And everybody's welcome. And thank you to our last minute executive producers, William S. and Hannah G. You guys are the best.
You guys rock.
And of course, thank you to the rest of you beautiful, wonderful, talented, lovely producers. Jonathan F., Sir JC, Knight of the Techno Squatch, Jackie U, James M, Anderson A, Puddin22, Cloud Suriel, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, Morv, Anonymous, LX Protocol, V2, Sir Casey the Shield Knight, Veronica D, Gail M, Runk Smash, and Sir James, Knight and Servant of the Lion of Judah. And if you guys want to join that list for Wednesday, we cannot do it without you. Times are tough. Again, I'm just going to say it right now, so I hopefully don't have to say it in the first half hour of Wednesday's show. If you are one of the few producers out there, listeners maybe even, who are not as affected by Jen Psaki's circling back around inflation roller coaster, there are people who are blessed and who are talented with money, and they are safe, and that is good, and thank God for that, and we hope that those are the people who help carry the load while the rest of us are making it through this. So you can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/CCNT, or even better, CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
That's right. And thank you to the rest of our producers. We've got so many awesome ones. I want to thank some of our very special producers, starting with our Clippies.
Clippy on those videos.
Thanks. Yes, these are the producers who clip the show, and it's put up on Canary Cry Clips, our YouTube channel. Go follow that channel. You'll get all the clips you need, and it will be standalone, away from 4 hours of other stuff that you're not looking for. Shareable, careable, review the info. Tell your friends that it's also there and have them follow it. Thank you very much to Emsworth, Faye Liverin, and Epsilon for working so hard at that. Next up, we've got the Time Stampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
That's right. Timestamps are pretty much the foundational piece of work that goes into everything else that we do. So we're very grateful to our time stampers who did it Sunday. That would have been Christine C, maybe. I actually have no idea. Christine C is our Friday time stamper, but whoever did it, thank you very much. Looking at the chat, seeing if anybody gives me a heads up on who it actually was. But if I don't give that, thank you, Christine C, for doing the timestamps. And it wasn't Christine C, but thank you so much for being who you you are, Christine C. We love and appreciate you. But it was Jade Bouncerson who did the timestamps for Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Go to CanaryCry.Meetups.com.
CanaryCry Meetup.
Go check it out. Meetups happening all over the place, baby. Canarians meeting each other, hanging out in person, gathering, fellowshipping, having fun, and making their apocalypse plans together. And you can do that too. If you head on over to CanaryCry.Meetups.com, you'll see that we've got meetups in East Texas on the 30th of this month. We've got, so many meetups are happening, have happened. We got to fix this page.
Yeah, we got to update.
Texas, again, San Antonio meetup on the 23rd of this month. Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania on the 9th of July. San Diego, we're still waiting for a reschedule there. And Louisville, Kentucky. I would love to hear how that went. But if you're out there and you want to have a meetup, meet other Canarians in your area, even after I would say especially after the No Agenda appearance yesterday, there are now more Canarians around the world than there ever have been. And you got to meet them. So pick a time, pick a place, put one on yourself, let us know about it, and we will let the world know. You got to have some recreation anyways, folks. You might as well put out an invite to other Canarians. Okay. Oh, there's also the People Zoom meetup. We do Zoom. We don't, but Ciara does Zoom meetups every third Saturday, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yep,
no, it's this Saturday. This coming Saturday. Yep.
No.
Yes, Gonz.
Oh, you're right.
2nd, 9th, 16th.
Wow.
So Zoom meetup this Saturday.
Time is definitely an elephant inside of a tiger suit.
Don't even think about it. All right, everybody. We'll see you at the meetup.
This is fun. See you at the
meetup. Make sure to leave ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts. It's very important. Very important.
Yes.
That's right. Leave ratings and reviews because we didn't get any. We got one. We got one last week. We need 5 every week, guys. So go do that or else.
Ugly, horrible person. You must leave review on iTunes. And if you do not, you are ugly, horrible person. You bring shame to family. Ugly, horrible person.
Yeah, but don't be too afraid of Gonz's grumpy uncle. Just go leave us a review. Especially, hey, if you're a new No Agenda listener, go leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Let us know what this experience has been like for you. We'd love to hear from you. And here's the fun part. If we get 5 or more reviews a week, which really helps us out, you'll make me go, ooh, ooh. Okay. Other than that, share us out on social media. Just share the show, man. Go to CanaryCry.Clips.com. Pick a clip. They're all good there. And put it on your Twitter. Put it on your Facebook. Mention us. Tag us. Don't be mean to us, please. It's hard. It's hard being on those horrible places. So we need. It's all about the algorithms, man. We gotta get those links out there.
That's the one thing I do miss from the Facelikethesun channel is anytime I needed to self-loathe, I can just go read the comment section of the YouTube channel.
If you're ever feeling too confident or too happy with your own body or face. Or voice or whatever, somebody's always there to remind you that we are just specks of dust. And that the darkness in the hearts of man will overwhelm that little mote of dust in a sunbeam. So there you go. Go hit us up on Twitter. Say hi. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's not it.
No.
Dude, art and jingles and music. And you can produce a show in so many ways with your time, your talent, or your treasure. Your talent, you, dear listener, are talented. You're a talented musician or painter or graphic artist or battle rapper or whatever. To create something for the show. Make it for the show, by the show. Send it on in. We'll have it on the show. We love it. It is that's what creates the culture around here, and we appreciate that very much. That's the 4th time I've choked on my own spit this show. So I need a doctor. But send it on into CanaryCry.Radio@gmail.com, or you can send it to CanaryCry.Radio@protonmail.com, and we'll put it on the show. Thank you very much.
Whoa, I was not expecting you to make that noise.
My brain is broken. What else do I say here? I think that's it. Share the show. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your dog. Nobody really talks about dogs listening to podcasts very often, and, it's not my place to do it. But if you want a new, special, exciting, unique way to share the show, let people know that there is a place where they can go, where they can find friends and lovers and their soulmate who are awake to the fact that the mainstream corporate media does not have their best interest in mind. In fact, their interest in mind is by brainwashing yours. And so it just takes a community of people to get together, facilitate a show like this so we can all make it through together with our brains intact, and also your dogs. So open up a dog training facility. You're going to call it Bow Wow to None But the Lord. And that's not bad for like a split-second improvisation.
Yeah, pretty good.
That wasn't great, but it was better than I thought it was going to come out when I started that sentence.
Joe likes it.
Keep yapping, man.
That's right. Open up, bow wow to no one but the Lord Jesus Christ. And people will bring their dogs to be trained, to be boarded, to be groomed, to be loved. And meanwhile, while they are all asleep in their plush little kennels of your luxury dog training and boarding facility, it is not the sound of running water or the sound of purring cats or the sound of other dogs that will lull them to sleep. No, it's the wonderful, soothing, dulcet tones of Canary Cry News Talk, soothing your dog to sleep. But not only soothing them to sleep, also waking them up. Soothed to sleep, underwoken to the truth of the mainstream corporate news media trying to reprogram our dogs so that they can make sure that we never learn the truth about, well, dogs, but also cats and the lizards. It's pretty deep. I don't have any time to get into it now. But those dogs, they will be pampered, they will be poodles, and they will go home to their loving masters or owners. I don't think we can call them masters anymore. And now, while they're cuddling on up, they will be sleeping in the bed next to their masters or their friends. And suddenly the dog will start speaking in perfect colloquial English, talking about Flippy, talking about the robots. It will be replaying that episode of Canary Cry News Talk back into the minds of their sleeping owners, which will then reprogram them to listen to the show. And that's the most important thing. That's what we're going for here, folks. So go ahead and do that. I don't care what you do, but we like to call it rattling cages. And if you need any more instructions, here's what you do. You walk right up to him, you grab him by the cage, and then you shake that cage.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Gonz, any last words?
Last words. Thank you. Welcome.
Yes.
To the end of this episode.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, too bad. We're out of here,
We're
folks.
Done.
All
and
right.
just a reminder.
We're all gonna die.
So repent.
Bow wow. To none but the Lord, your God.
Amen.
Okay. What do we do? Oh, thank you for listening to this episode.
Man, we really can't do 2 days in a row.
It doesn't work, man. It just doesn't work. We can't do 2 days in a row for so many reasons. Mostly my brain. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage. Oh, and stick around for the mixtape. Got songs coming, folks. You're gonna love it.
Give me a break. This is the United States of America, for God's sake. Feed him more.
We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
That's the way.
He's got to save something for next episode,
I want like another bigger drop. I want my room to start shaking. Speak of the ghost.
Completely off the chain.
It's a banger. I want like another bigger drop.
Oh, all right.
Gnarly.
We will hunt you down and make you pay.
I want my room to start shaking.
Oh,
ghost.
Fun fact, I believe it was another fun fact. Fun fact. Another fun fact.
Brings me back to my Screamo days.
The days will come when the great buildings of the cities shall be thrown down, and there will not be left one stone upon another. Do not allow anyone to lead you astray. There will be those who will come in my name, and they will say, I am he, and they will deceive many. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. These things must take place, but this will not yet be the end. For nation will rise against nation. There will be earthquakes and famines, but these are only the beginning of the birth pains. Even before these things come, they will deliver you over to the courts, and you will be mistreated. But this will be your opportunity to bear witness. When they bring you to trial, do not be anxious about what to say, but say whatever is given to you in that hour. For it is not you who will speak, but the Holy Spirit that dwells in you. I will give you wisdom, which none of your adversaries will be able to withstand. You will be hated for my name's sake, but the one who endures to the end will be saved. When you see the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, then you must flee to the mountains. For in those days there will be tribulation, such as never before. And if the Lord had not cut short those days, no human being would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, whom he chose, he shortened those days. There will be great distress upon the earth, and wrath against the people. They will fall by the sword, and be forced into exile until the times are fulfilled. If anyone says to you, Look, there is the Christ, do not believe them. Many false Christs and false prophets will rise and perform wonders to lead astray even the elect, if it were possible. But be on guard, for I have told you all things beforehand. In the days after this tribulation, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Then all the earth will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. He will send out his angels to gather his elect from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. When these things begin to take place, stand upright and raise your heads, because your redemption is near. Learn from the parable of the fig tree. When its branch becomes tender and puts out its leaves, you know that summer is near. So also, when you see these things taking place, you know that he is near, at the very gates. Truly I say to you, that generation will not pass before all these things are finished. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words shall never pass away. The day or the hour no one knows, not even the Son, but only the Father in heaven. Be on guard and keep watch, for you do not know when the time will come. When a man leaves his home, he puts his servants in charge, each with his own work, and he commands the doorkeeper to keep watch. Therefore, stay alert, for you do not know when the master of the house will return. Do not let the Lord come suddenly and find you asleep. What I say now, I say to all, remain watchful.
Wives in the cosmos, children in the space lane.
I'm an adult in a spaceship.
Supersonic space plane screamed to life and the vehicle swooped upward. On board, the passengers experienced a 3 Gs of force from the burst of extreme acceleration and watched the blue sky fade into space.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Oh, yeah.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Yes. Do it, Richard. Do it, Jeff. Do it for humanity.
To all you kids down there, I was once a child with a dream. Now I'm an adult in a spaceship.
He can accomplish it. You can too. Big windows, cool. Rocket ship, cool. Space plane, cool.
Nukes,
cool.
Blowing stuff up,
cool. Space plane, astronaut, rocket ship.
Previous anchor.
We have Basil. He's a human. Just look at him. Go to the bathroom in bags. He can go to the bathroom in the cosmos. It changed everything. Wives in space, children in the cosmos, with your best friend brother. Wives in the cosmos, children in the space lane.
We are headed to space.
It might seem scary, so
Don't even get me started on bidets, man. Bidets, man.
This is the way.
Bidets, man. I'm telling you, you were living the life, man. Bidets, man.
In the future, humans will be confined in a people's zoo.
I'll keep you safe and warm. In my people's zoo. We will hunt you down to make you pay. I'll keep you safe and warm now. In my people's zoo. Give me a break. You, yeah, you. In my people's zoo. I'll keep the cameras on. In my people's zoo. Armageddon's on the way. I'll keep the cameras on now. In my people's zoo. This is the United States of America, for God's sake. You, yeah, you. In my people's zoo. They all want to shoot her dead.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Keep the up, man. This is not about freedom and personal choice. Stigmatory. I'll make you fat and sassy. In my people's zoo.
We're all gonna die.
I'll make you fat and sassy. In my people's zoo. You, yeah, you. You, yeah, you. You, yeah, you. In my people's zoo.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths.
CanaryCry.Radio.com/support